Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, everyone. Life Hunter. I hunt gods for the human race. Chapter 21. Shu Yan's eyes widened. The guy in front of him looked really ugly. With a vine body and a dog face, could it be Hellvine Dog? With a thought, a data panel jumped out in front of Shu Yan. Elite Boss. Mutated version of Hellvine Dog. Level 8. 5 elements. Wood. Hidden evil monster. Its 4-dimensional attributes cannot be peeked into. Hidden evil monster. Its soul skills cannot be seen. Sure enough it is. Hellvine Dog. But what does variant mean? The 5 elements belong to wood. Shu Yan was stunned. The strategy didn't say that Hellvine Dog has 5 elements attributes. You must know that an evil monster with 5 elements attributes is not on the same level as one without 5 elements, which means that it may have 5 elements soul skills. The damage increase of the 5 elements soul skills is not comparable to that of ordinary soul skills. So does it mean that the original Hellvine Dog mutated, and after the mutation, it has the attribute of 5 elements wood? It's not even a little bit stronger than before. How strong is it? Damned. Hidden evil monster. The 4-dimensional attributes cannot be seen, and the soul skills cannot be seen. How to play? But one thing is that this guy definitely has the ability to recover. The fact that the body made of vines can grow back after being cut off is enough to prove this. In addition, this guy may have soul skills that absorb physical strength and paralyze the opponent. Suddenly, another knife. Wanli Cantu's knife was very fast, and the Hellvine Dog was split into 2 pieces in an instant. But the Hellvine Dog seemed to be fine, and its body grew again. He was not killed instantly. Shu Yan saw the problem. The mutated Hellvine Dog had the ability to regenerate. It was useless to cut it randomly. You had to find its roots. Probably its head. With a thought, Wanli Cantu understood instantly, dodged the fast vines, raised the broken knife to cut off time and space, slashed down with one knife, and directly decapitated the Hellvine Dog's head. Boom. Headshot. So bloody. Not dead yet. What the hell? With a headshot, Shu Yan thought he could take advantage of the situation, but he still underestimated the ability of the Hellvine Dog. The headless Hellvine Dog can actually fight. The blood-red vines stretched quickly like ghost hands, trying to wrap around Wanli Cantu. The vines twisted and made a blood-curdling roar. Wanli Cantu was not to be outdone. He raised his knife and dropped it. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. The snake-like vines were cut off again. But a steady stream of vines grew out again, unleashing vicious attacks one after another. Endless. Shu Yan was stunned. Hellvine Dog is indeed the strongest evil monster in the novice copy of Gongqing province. Before it mutates, it can easily kill the super luxurious 3 heroes lineup. Not to mention that after the mutation, it has the properties of 5 elements wood, which gives it a strong recovery ability, as if it can never be killed. And Wanli Cantu does not have 5 elements of soul skills, it only has basic attacks. There are not as many methods that the Hellvine Dog can use, so even if the attack power is overwhelming, even a single blow can still cause 3,000 plus damage, but it is like cutting on cotton. Under the influence of the Hellvine Dog's 5 element soul skills and special talents, it is actually somewhat useful. Feeling unmotivated. Wanli Cantu had a very explosive temper. Shu Yan thought that if there was no suppression by absolute will, he would definitely go berserk in this situation. Still have to calm down. Facing a scheming opponent, just hacking without any rules will definitely not work. Fortunately, Wanli Slaughter is a tireless fighting machine. If it were replaced by the Life Hunter's true body, it would just be a long time to chop. I fell down tired. Thousands of miles of carnage, endless chopping. Hellvine Dog, endless recovery. The scene was at a stalemate. Shu Yan observed carefully. 3 years in Quancheng number 1 middle school is not something you learn in vain. The monster recognition theory course in the school teaches knowledge about how to analyze the monsters, use professional methods to judge the advantages and disadvantages of the monsters, know yourself and the enemy, so that in the future, the awakened life hunters can enter the battle more professionally and faster. Shu Yan's score in the Monster Recognition Theory course ranks first in the school. Although the Hellvine Dog's information is not displayed in the data column, Shu Yan's careful judgment. How can a rattan dog recover endlessly? The answer lies in its tail. Its tail is its root, and its body is its stem. There is only one truth. The Hellvine dog's tail and its body do not grow together, because they are root separated. As mentioned in the Monster Recognition Theory course, some wood-type evil monsters can separate their roots and stems, hide their tails in the soil, and penetrate into the ground. They can absorb nutrients from the soil and convert them into vitality, allowing it to regenerate itself and regenerate damage during combat. Dig the ground and find its roots for me. Click. Quote. 10,000 miles of slaughter. A wave of heat exploded on the surface. The aura was rising layer by layer. The knife was cut off in the hand, and it was only cut underground. The attack power of 3,000 plus directly caused a ravine on the ground. A black tail squirmed in the ravine like an earthworm. Tail found. This is it. Cut it. With a thought from Shu Yan, the muscles of Wanli Cantu swelled, and the machete in his hand was like an electric light and flint, cutting through the air and getting straight to the root of the Hellvine dog. The Hellvine dog in front of him realized the danger, and his agility increased visibly. His tail reconnected with the body, and then his body twisted quickly. The next moment, the 3-meter-long broken knife that was supposed to cut into the Hellvine dog's vitality gate actually scraped against it. His body slid past, only scraping out a strip of vine skin. This scene made Shu Yan's eyelids jump. He thought that the Hellvine dog only had the best recovery power, but he didn't expect that the agility would be improved so much after being combined with the tail. Combined with the attack of the cane tentacles, the whole body would be very strong. However, the 3,000 plus attack power of Wanli Zantu is not limited. As long as it can cut off the Hellvine dog's tail, it will be the end. Now that the tail is exposed, it's easy to do. Cut again. Wanli Cantu, the sword flashed and slashed straight at the tail of the Hell dog. Seeing that the sword was so fierce and unavoidable, the Hellvine dog retracted its outstretched cane and rolled itself into a round shield 3 meters in diameter. Boom! The buckler has extraordinary defense, and the sword of Wanli Cantu did not cut through it. Although it was not cut through, the buckler was already cracked. As if being hurt by the knife, the Hellvine dog roared unwillingly in its throat. Woof! Moo! With a low roar, the round shield opened up, and the vines rotated, blooming like a vine flower. The wine flower rotates at high speed, like a meat grinder. A sudden suction force comes from inside, and it emits gusts of wind roar, as if it wants to suck everything in the field into it and chew everything up. Looking at this scene, Shu Yan felt a chill in his heart. The way the flowers were blooming. Is it the last words of the heroic trio that, when flowers bloom, life must be killed? Finally, I saw the legendary, when flowers bloom, they must kill animals, which was an eye-opener. But for a while, Shu Yan didn't know what to do. It can be said that his basic 4-dimensional monsters are already better than the ordinary monsters in this copy, but compared with the mutant version of the elite boss Hellvine dog, it is still much inferior. The suction force of Tenghua was so strong that he couldn't resist it. His body was already floating in the air and he was about to be sucked in before he saw it. Inhaling it is the punishment of minced meat. Shu Yan's heart sank, and he suddenly felt very sorry for the 3 heroes of the team back then. But he was in no hurry. After all, he has a personal bodyguard, Wanli Cantu. Wanli Zantu has 6 times the 4-dimensional attributes of Wushuang 570, which is definitely more than 1 level higher than the Hellvine dog. In front of Wanli Cantu there is no such thing as, the flowers must be killed, there is only, the flowers must be chopped down. Shu Yan didn't even need to give an order. Like a conditioned reflex, Wanli Cantu immediately picked up the long knife and slashed at the vine dog, directly chopping the vine flower into pieces with a pop. The vine flowers shattered, and the dozens of vines of the Hellvine dog straightened out again, and then wrapped up into a round shield. This round shield may be a defensive soul skill, but it already has signs of cracks. Boom! Break the knife and cut again. The Hellvine dog's tail was not in the ground, unable to provide it with strong recovery, and the buckler was shattered. Boom! Cut again. Unstoppable, unavoidable. For a moment, dust flew up and clods of soil flew everywhere. Chop 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 chop. Boom boom boom. Wanli Cantu, bathed in the endless sword light, has no face, no features, broken swords, broken armor, and blood stains all over his body. He is like a butcher, chopping the Hellvine dog into pieces as if to vent his anger. Shu Yan stood behind him, controlling the urge to gag. Too bloody. Too cruel. Kill the level 8 mutant elite boss Hellvine Dog, experience plus 800. Suck the soul of the level 8 mutated elite boss Hellvine Dog, and recover the energy of the soul plus 800. The pop-up data box has already confirmed that the Hellvine Dog can no longer die, but Wanli carnage is still cutting, and the vent of anger continues. What hatred! What complaint! Shu Yan closed his eyes and couldn't bear to look anymore. When I recall this battle carefully, I always feel a little lucky. If I hadn't worked hard to learn theoretical knowledge, I wouldn't have known that the Hellvine Dog's life gate was its tail. And without this key information, this battle may be very long. But why is there no mention of the Hellvine Dog's tail in the strategy? Thinking of this, Shu Yan frowned. The strategy records the battle between Qin Fang and the Hellvine Dog, but Qin Fang's strategy does not mention the characteristics of the Hellvine Dog's tail. So is it possible to separate the root from the stem after mutation? Hellvine Dog's ability is extremely incredible. If his talent wasn't even more incredible, he might have been buried here like the 3 heroes. After 10,000 miles of slaughter finished venting his anger, Shu Yan began to calculate the experience gained for this instance. Including the 800 experience from Hellvine Dog, the total experience of 28,000 in this novice copy has been obtained. In terms of cost-effectiveness, killing Hellvine Dogs is actually not cost-effective. After all, if you kill a level 8 ordinary monster, you will get 80 experience points with 1 blow. If you kill 10 monsters with 10 blows, you will get 800 experience points. And this Hellvine Dog was chopped into a pulp by Wanli massacre out of anger. It cost several hundred cuts and only earned 800 experience points. Hey, what is this? The material won't really be revealed, right? The Hellvine Dog died, its body was chopped into pieces, and the energy of the dead soul was also absorbed, but miraculously, the tail on the ground was still there, turning into a translucent soul. Shu Yan reached out and touched it. The soul tail disappeared on the spot, and then a voice sounded in his mind. Obtain the mutated Hellvine Dog's tail. At the same time, an extra piece of tail material appeared in Shu Yan's storage space. This is the first time Shu Yan has stored Wengquan materials in the storage space, which is a bit novel. The textbook says that after awakening the true form of the Life Hunter, not only can he enter the underworld, but he will also have his own independent space in the void, which can store various underworld materials. As the level increases, this storage space will also change big. It's true, and I didn't expect that it would be stored directly after touching it with my hand. Quite convenient. What an amazing feeling. Looking at the tail in the storage space, Shu Yan pursed his lips in excitement. Before, I killed nearly 1,000 evil monsters without any materials being exploded. I didn't expect the Hellvine Dog to explode. I just don't know how much this tail is worth. At this time, a reminder sounded. The evil monsters in the copy have been cleared, and the copy will be reset soon. Close black lens bracket. Transmission is now enabled. Close black lens bracket. After 1 minute, the copy will be sent out. Close black lens bracket. Outside the dungeon, the sun was setting and it was already dusk. The first batch of copies were downloaded at 9 a.m., and now 8 hours have passed, and the time has reached 5 p.m. Different from the hustle and bustle of forming a team and calling people in the morning, at this point, no one can be seen outside the dungeon. After all, it is already this hour, and everyone has formed a team to download the dungeon. Tangji and several principals were sitting in the rest pavilion in the assembly area. However, their task was far more than just sitting there chatting, but also acting as supervisors. 8 years ago, the talented newcomers formed a team of 3 heroes, and the fate of the newbie copy was the most heartbreaking loss in Spring City in recent years. Since then, the practice of principal staying and waiting has been deeply ingrained in the culture of Quancheng life hunters. If a student gets into trouble, they will act quickly and rush into the instance to rescue them. At this moment, a bright light suddenly emitted from the entrance to the copy, and everyone looked up in unison. Is anyone out? But at this time, the time has not yet come. Did any accident happen? Look at the light beam, it seems to be teleported. Being transported. The golden beam of light, doesn't that mean? Everyone seemed to have thought of something. Shocked beyond words. It was unbelievable for a while. You look at me, I look at you, and after nodding to confirm each other, the feeling of shock skyrockets again, reaching Tianling Gai in an instant. This golden beam of light represents only one meaning, and that is single brush. All evil monsters are cleared. Full experience is 28,000. And killed the elite leader. Then bathe in the golden light and teleport out the copy. At this moment, all their eyes were fixed on the figure reflected by the golden light beam without blinking. The beam of light showed the identity and level of the figure. Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, Freshman Shu Yan, Special Fate Hunter, Level 6. It turned out to be Level 6. Boom. This is not a heartbeat. But liver tremor. Under the golden light pillar, it was so bright, so shocking, and so explosive. Level 6. The principals couldn't believe what they saw. He gasped hard. I am not wrong, right? How could it be Level 6? Tunnel No. 007 is the only channel for new members of the Quancheng Life Hunters to gain experience so far. Even if all the monsters inside are cleaned up and all the monsters are killed, the total experience will only be 28,000. These experiences can only support a newcomer who has just reached level 5. It has always been like this. That's right. Yes, the previous fastest record of clearing 007 tunnel was 23 hours. All monsters were cleared. With 28,000 full experience, you can only upgrade to level 5. But this kid actually only spent 8 hours to clear out all the monsters, including an elite boss. Forget it, the level has been raised to level 6. But with a total experience of 28,000, how can it be possible to reach level 6? Shock occupied the brain, and everyone was confused. Their eyes met each other, and their voices were full of disbelief. They once suspected that they had seen it wrong. But the golden beam of light cannot fool anyone. The brightly displayed Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, Freshman Shu Yan, Level 6 cannot deceive anyone. Even Tang Ji, who was used to seeing strong winds and waves, was shocked at this moment far beyond the records his students had already set. There have always been many newcomers who choose to clear the dungeon alone, but most of the life hunters who choose to clear the dungeon alone will quit in the middle, because the total experience gained by completing the dungeon alone is much more than the total experience gained by teaming up. Of course, to be able to pass half of the game alone is already a genius at a heaven-defying level. However, only Qin Fang 19 years ago could clear all the monsters in the dungeon and then transport them out. The golden beam of light means that even the only elite boss in the dungeon, Hellvine Dog, has been spawned, which is a perfect pass. This is the script written by Qin Fang 19 years ago. Qin Fang was also teleported back then, also with a golden beam of light, but it took him 23 hours, and he was seriously injured, and the last finger of his right hand was permanently missing. Thinking of this, Tang Ji suddenly became excited. He was so shocked that he actually forgot the most important thing. He couldn't help but shouted anxiously to the principals, quickly, go and see if he is injured and whether he needs treatment. He rushed forward first, only to find that the figure had walked out of the golden light pillar and waved to him with a smile. Principal Tang, I'm out. Tang Ji was full of words but was stuck in his throat, you. Shu Yan blinked, it's me. Tang Ji gasped, it's you, Principal Tang. Tang Ji swallowed his excited breath and said, are you okay? I'm fine. Is it really okay? I'm really fine. Tang Ji didn't believe it and forcefully touched Shu Yan's body. The more you touch it, the more incredible it becomes. This kid was indeed uninjured, unlike Qin Fang who had several broken bones in the past that hurt when touched. Hiss. Tang Ji took a deep breath again. He originally thought that Shu Yan could become a good life hunter, comparable to heroes, but now it seems that he still underestimated the newcomer in front of him. You must know that even if the 3 heroes formed a team in the rookie stage, they would not be able to fight against the Hellvine Dogs. In the end, they were all devoured by the Vine Dogs, leaving not even the bones and slag behind. Even Qin Fang, who was in charge of his destiny, spent 3 hours killing the Hellvine Dog, and he was still injured. But Shu Yan was not only uninjured. And my face is not red and I am out of breath. It didn't even consume much physical energy. The copy was released so many hours in advance. It seems that killing the Hellvine Dog is effortless. How strong is Shu Yan's combat power? It may be beyond imagination. This is also something that the principals find unbelievable. How could a freshman be so strong? Rather than believing that there are new students who are so powerful, they are more willing to believe that the golden beam of light has the possibility of making mistakes. So, you really got the Hellvine dog? Asked the principal of number 2 middle school. Shu Yan nodded. Yes, I was about to say this. As he spoke, with a thought, he took out the mutated Hellvine dog's tail from the storage space and displayed it in front of the principals. I killed the Hellvine dog and then exploded this thing, this material, what's the use? The principal of the number 2 middle school originally spoke harshly, but when Shu Yan took out the mutated Hellvine dog's tail, he immediately shut up. Hellvine dog is an exclusive evil monster in the 007 tunnel dungeon. It has only been spawned twice in the past 20 years. If you count this time, it is the third time. For the first time, Lao Qin killed the Hellvine dog, but no material was revealed. The second time, the 3 heroes were killed by the Hellvine dog, and instead became their material. This is the third time. This time the material was revealed. And it's a variant. Breathtaking. Everyone needs to calm down their inner shock. Tang Ji reached out and picked up the material, examined it carefully, smelled it again, and frowned. This material has 5 elements, wood attribute aura. He suddenly raised his head and exclaimed, the Hellvine dog you met is an elite leader with the 5 elements wood attribute. Shu Yan nodded. As soon as these words came out, the principals who were watching were also shocked. The Hellvine dog that Qin Feng encountered did not have the 5 elements attributes, but this time it is different. No wonder it's a mutated version. With 5 elements attributes, doesn't that mean that this mutated version is stronger? Of course it's stronger, and much stronger. So, there is only one conclusion. They agree. His gaze was directed at Shu Yan again. This newcomer is strong. It's too strong. It's too strong. Tang Ji on the side controlled his excitement, took the materials, and said to Shu Yan, Hellvine dog is a rare evil monster, and only the 007 tunnel has a chance to be spawned. This material market has not appeared before, and it is the only one. But the specific use has yet to be discovered. I can't figure it out at the moment. If it is given to the Life Hunters Guild for consignment or auction, someone will definitely know its value. Principal Tang Ji paused, but your material is mutated and bound, and cannot be traded. You can only keep it to yourself. Bound, can't trade. Shu Yan frowned in confusion. The mutated Hellvine dog's tail is currently being played within Principal Tang Ji's hands. If something can be taken away, why can't it be traded? Seeing Shu Yan's doubts, Tang Ji smiled and said, the theory class in our number 1 middle school has not yet touched on the knowledge of material trading. Now I will give you a make-up lesson. Shu Yan listened attentively. Killing the underworld monster has a chance to reveal some materials. Usually these materials are not bound to the owner, so they can be traded freely. For example, if I hold the materials in my hand, as long as I don't return them to you, you can't take them back. Shu Yan knew Lao Tang well. His nourishing life in number 1 middle school in the past 3 years was thanks to Lao Tang's care. So when Lao Tang reached out to pick up his materials, he was not worried at all. What if Lao Tang didn't plan to steal? Tang Ji continued. But the Wangquan or monster occasionally releases some top-notch rare materials, which are bound. Just like this tail, it is translucent. At this time, although it is still held in my hand, as long as its binder moves his mind, it can return to the binder's storage space. You can try. What a new lesson. Shu Yan tried it, and with a thought, the tail held by old Tang disappeared, but appeared in his storage space the next moment. It's so magical. Tang Ji continued. Normally, it is very rare for a life hunter to reveal a binding material. Most life hunters may never reveal a binding material in their lifetime, so this is very unpopular knowledge. It is not suitable as content for life hunter preschool education. Tang Ji explained so seriously to show that this knowledge blind spot is not a problem with number 1 middle school education, but because of your evil sect. Who would have thought that the material that was revealed for the first time in the life hunter's career was the mutant binding model? Huang Feng, the principal of number 2 middle school on the side, couldn't hold back anymore. The competition between him and old Tang, the principal of number 1 middle school, is well known. Although Huang Feng also hopes that Quanchang will cultivate more talents, a genius graduating from number 2 middle school will undoubtedly give him more face than graduating from number One middle school. Therefore, his envy of old Tang was inevitably mixed with some jealousy. Love the house as much as the crow, and hate the house as much as the crow. Regarding the issue of binding materials, he also forced himself to explain. The binding material has another characteristic, that is, it will lose its original effectiveness if held in the hands of a non-bound person. In other words, the binding materials can only be used by yourself. If others use them, they are garbage. We have taught you these in number 2 middle school. Tangji. Huang Feng continued to stare at Xu Yan. Now that I have explained the problem of binding materials to you, I also have a problem here. Please explain it to me as well. Xu Yan bowed and said, Principal Huang is too polite. I will tell you everything I know. Single clearing the 007 tunnel in 8 hours and being upgraded to level 6. This is not only a broken record, but also something that is impossible to achieve in theory, so what I want to ask is. The new player dungeon in Quan City only has 28,000 total experience. This experience is only enough to reach level 5. How did you reach level 6? Huang Feng is indeed Huang Feng, I like you to be so direct. The already excited spirits of the other principals became even more excited now, and they all wanted to know the answer to this puzzle. Xu Yan was not surprised at all. Sure enough, this is the problem. He originally planned to hide his level, but unfortunately, the golden light beam transmitted mercilessly projected his level information into the air. It was like an undeniable notice. What's even more embarrassing is that this notice doesn't seem to be going away on its own and is still hanging there. He should have thought that the first person to clear out the dungeon would have this notice, and this notice would hang for a day, and every new person who came out of the dungeon after that could see it. How do you say this? Xu Yan could only pretend to be stupid. How to say it? How to say it? I really don't know how to say it. I know. Tang Ji shouted loudly and stepped forward, full of confidence. Xu Yan was stunned. Everyone was shocked. You really know? Of course I know. I just smelled that mutated tail, and there is only one truth, Tang Ji suddenly said solemnly. Killing the mutated Hellvine dog not only exploded the mutated material, but also exploded a huge amount of experience. Really? He gave Xu Yan a, look. Xu Yan was startled. Old Tang was obviously covering for him, but he never thought that Old Tang, a genius, would come up with such a reason. Ah, yes, he responded quickly. After smelling the tail, you can come to such a conclusion. Who can fool you? Of course, everyone doubts its authenticity. But it's hard to refute him. After all, it's Old Tang. Old Tang's true identity is originator of spirit dogs possessing a terrifying talent, originator. Originator. The breath can break the sky, and the smell of fragrance can identify ghosts and gods. The talent is the same body, you don't need to be possessed by the real body, the body can also activate this talent. Old Tang's nose was famously powerful in Quancheng. It was so powerful that he could smell other people's ex-mistresses and predict future adulterers and adulterers. Asking him to smell a tail material seemed to make some sense. Regarding the revelation of a huge amount of experience, unless there is a second person who has obtained a mutated version of the Hellvine dog and comes forward to speak out, it will be difficult to refute Principal Tang's judgment. The principal's doubts were lifted, and the direction of the discussion also changed accordingly. It would be great if that were the case. No matter how Xu Yan was promoted to level 6, he was promoted by just clearing the Tunnel No 007 instance. This fact cannot be denied. What does this mean? This means that our novice dungeon in Quan City is also a dungeon that allows newcomers to reach level 6. You have to know that there is only one novice copy in the entire Great Sha that can be upgraded to level 6 in a single brush, and it is in the capital. If you look at how tight it is to get a degree in Jingcheng Middle School, you will know how significant this level 6 is. Now our novice dungeon, Tunnel No 007, in Quancheng can be upgraded to level 6 with a single brush. It will definitely become famous outside Zhong and Min provinces and bring more students from outside to our middle school in Quancheng. So happy. Seeing the excitement among the principals, Xu Yan could only remain silent because he couldn't bear to spoil their fun. The principals became more and more excited as they talked, and their praise of Xu Yan became less and less. Bottom line. The only fate in history is indeed Niucha. Although this destiny has not been clearly evaluated in the fate record, we all know how strong Qin Fang is in General Jin. It took Lao Qin 23 hours to clear the dungeon alone, and he reached level 5 with full experience. Facing Hell Vine Dog was injured and even had a broken little finger. Xu Yan spent less time, gained more levels, and faced a stronger mutant version of the Hellvine Dog, but he was completely fine and didn't even consume much physical strength. That's right. If calculated based on the record of the novice copy, the destiny of Return of the Dead definitely exceeds that of Lao Qin's Golden General and is completely comparable to the destiny of the king. Amidst the nods of agreement, Huang Feng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, didn't take it seriously. I don't want to pour cold water on you, but the teachings of our No. 2 Middle School are based on seeking truth from facts. It's really hard to say what will happen to this special fate in the future. The reason why special fortunes are special is that they are elusive. Unlike regular fortunes, which can be predicted in advance, many special fortunes are very strong in the early stage, but start to weaken as the level goes up. There are hundreds of special fortunes registered in the complete records of fate, and there are all kinds of situations. It is difficult to judge in one word. The conventional fate is different. The promotion route is very clear, and the strength becomes stronger and stronger as the level increases. Winning by level doesn't mean you really win. Destiny determines everything, and as far as I know, the awakened true body of Xu Yan from No. 1 Middle School does not have the attributes of the 5 elements, and his soul skills do not have the 5 elements. So the gap in strength will be in the later stage. It will be very obvious. The principals are all experienced and have rich experience. Of course they understand what Huang Feng said. However, these words did not hinder their expectations for Xu Yan. At least for now, Xu Yan's destiny is very strong, setting a record in Quancheng's history. Who knows what will happen in the future? Anyway, he is the most dazzling newcomer in Quan City at the moment. Looking up at the notice still hanging in the air, Huang Feng nodded. Okay, I admit this. If you are going to be weak in the later stage, it should be after you are admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion. By the way, old Tang. Huang Feng looked at Tang Ji. I remember that you also awakened at Water General Girl in No. 1 Middle School. I wonder if I can break old Qin's record. Just as he was talking, another beam of light flashed in the direction of the copy. Has someone been teleported out again? Different from the golden beam of light that Xu Yan was sent before, this beam of light is silver. The silver light beam represents a single brush. All evil monsters are cleared. Full experience is 28,000. The only difference from the golden light pillar is that the elite boss, Hellvine Dog, is not obtained. Even so, this silver beam of light caused a burst of exclamations from all the principals. But because Zhu Yu, who was Xu Yan's golden beam of light, was in front of him, the exclamation was not as exaggerated as before. The silver light showed, Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, new student Gongqing, Water General Fortune Hunter, level 5. It was Gongqing who came out. Unlike Xu Yan, who was relaxed and carefree, Gongqing looked tired. His body was stained with the blood of the evil monster, his hair was a little messy, and his clothes had some holes scratched by sharp claws. You can imagine what he went through in the dungeon. The feeling brought by actual combat in the novice copy is completely different from studying in books. The principals nodded with satisfaction. This is the normal style of the newcomer's first dungeon. I think back then, Lao Qin was even more embarrassed, so Xu Yan was the only one who was different. Noticing the stains on Gongqing's clothes, a principal used his skills without leaving a trace and summoned a water ball to cover Gongqing. The water ball dissipated and Gongqing's clothes were miraculously clean. Seeing the principal's performance, Xu Yan unconsciously wanted to applaud, thinking that Gongqing had awakened his true form of the water system, and maybe he could learn the skill of washing clothes in the future. Principal Tang Ji was overjoyed. It was natural for Gongqing, who had the fate of Water General, to achieve any amazing results. He stepped forward. In 8.5 hours, all monsters have been cleared, full of experience, and you have been promoted to level 5, far surpassing Qin Fang, the former No. 1 in Quan City. You are very good. Gongqing shook his head in disappointment and said, Master Qin got the Hellvine Dog and won. I didn't get the Hellvine Dog, so I can't say I surpassed Master Qin. Don't be modest, you are already very powerful. Shu Yan walked out from the side and said. Gongqing was so exhausted in the dungeon that he didn't notice Shu Yan beside him when he first came out. At this moment, he suddenly heard Shu Yan's voice and was a little surprised. Why did you come out too? Shu Yan scratched his head. It was also teleported. Teleported. Gongqing was startled. There are only 3 possibilities for being teleported. The first is to clear out all the monsters alone. The second type of copy is reset in 24 hours. If the copy is not released within 24 hours, it will be automatically transferred. The third method is for the principal team to enter the scene to save people and teleport the students inside. The first possibility has been ruled out by Gongqing. 8.5 hours, the first in history, there can be no faster single-player speed than hers. The second possibility also does not exist, because it is less than 9 hours before the instance is opened. The only possibility is the third one. Since the 3 heroes of the team died in the novice dungeon 8 years ago, Quancheng senior officials have attached great importance to the safety of the 007 tunnel dungeon. If students are in danger of life inside, they can touch the relevant props and wait outside the dungeon. The principal group will join forces to enter the scene and teleport it out. Seeing Shu Yan surrounded by the Quancheng principal team, he must be the third type. Judging from this, Gongqing looked directly at Shu Yan and said angrily, your true body and fate are not recorded in the fate record. It is difficult to judge by yourself what tactics should be used to clear the dungeon. Choose to do it alone. It's very risky. It's foreseeable that you'll be teleported out if you encounter danger inside. I'm not surprised at all. You misunderstood. Tang Ji interrupted her and said, Shu Yan, like you, also cleared the level alone. What? Gongqing suspected that he heard wrongly. At this moment, the silver light beam shrouding Gongqing's body dissipated, making the golden announcement in the sky particularly conspicuous. As soon as his eyes came into contact with the golden announcement, Gongqing froze in place as if he had been electrocuted. Shock. Unbelievable. She knows what this golden public notice represents. Single brush. All evil monsters are cleared. Full experience is 28,000. And killed the elite boss. Even more shocking. The words written in the golden frame. Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, Freshman Shu Yan, Special Fate Hunter, Level 6. Level 6. It's Level 6. How can it be? How did he reach Level 6? All the wonderful expressions of the principals just now were vividly reproduced on Gongqing's face. Tang Ji explained. Shu Yan came out at 8 hours, and he not only killed all the level 8 monsters in the novice copy, but also killed the mutated and enhanced version of the Hellvine dog. It was the guy who broke the news the huge amount of experience allowed him to level up 1 more level. Gongqing was startled again. Kill the mutated Hellvine dog. Upgrade to a new level. Can you believe it? But how could you not believe it? Is there any other explanation? Tunnel No. 007 dungeon is different from ordinary novice dungeons. There is only one elite monster in it, called Hellvine Dog, and this Hellvine Dog can only be spawned once a year at most. No wonder I didn't get the Vine Dog, it turned out that he beat me to it. Everyone knows what will happen if you face the Hellvine Dog. Not even the generals can escape unscathed. How did he do that? Could it be that his true body and destiny are stronger than general? And it's not even remotely strong. Shocking. Still shocking. Although she was shocked, the corners of Gongqing's mouth revealed an arc of relief that even she couldn't control. Gongqing is, without a doubt, a super genius. However, this super genius could only be described as ordinary in front of Shu Yan's golden announcement. Huang Feng, the principal of No. 2 Middle School, comforted Gongqing. Each special fortune has its own weaknesses. Some special fortunes are strong at low levels, but have low growth potential, while regular fortunes will become more powerful later. The temporary victory or defeat of the copy is nothing. Compared with him, you have an advantage. In addition, Junquan Division has a special system for the cultivation of regular destiny, while the cultivation of special destiny is mostly about crossing the river by feeling stones. Especially for the kind of fate that has never been seen before. Without the reference of senior strategies, if you don't practice properly for a while, it is easy to go crazy and even lose control. Gongqing suddenly interrupted him, with special fates, you may go your own way, so don't judge easily. When Huang Feng heard Gongqing's words, he was slightly startled, and then said, "Okay, even if you have the same destiny, different family backgrounds, the amount of money, the depth of resources, etc. will also have a great impact on cultivation, crops, equipment, skills, you know what I mean. The Gong family naturally has a big business, but if a guy from a poor town has no money or power, he will gradually fall behind if he lacks money, equipment, skills, and props." Gongqing said angrily, "I have nothing to do with the Gong family. Besides, resource determinism is outdated." Huang Feng was speechless. "I am speaking for you. What are you angry about? Children's innocence is very beautiful, but reality is both cruel and complicated." Huang Feng turned to look at Tang Ji. "Hey, old Tang, please tell me if I am right." Principal Tang Ji on the side coughed. "Old Huang, you were right, resources are resources, and getting admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion is the biggest resource these days." He turned to Shu Yan and Gongqing and said, "You two are the signatures of our Quancheng number 1 middle school, and now you are also the new business cards of our Quancheng. The top priority is to be admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion. Since you have completed the copy in advance, then first go back to the dormitory to rest, exercise your will, and at the same time carefully plan how to quickly reach level 16, which is a necessary condition for taking the Hunting God Pavilion exam." Shu Yan nodded. Taking the exam of the Hunting God Pavilion was a top priority, but Huang Feng's words reminded him that money was not everything, but if you want to become a more extreme life hunter, you must not have money. There is a place where you can not only upgrade, but also make money by brushing materials. Upgrade and make money at the same time. Principal Tang, I have already made a plan. I want to go to the hunting area. Now, Shu Yan nodded and said, "Yes, I'm not tired and don't need to rest. If possible, I would like to go now." Tang Ji looked at Shu Yan with a complicated expression. Over the past 3 years, he had been infected countless times by this young man's tenacity and perseverance. Now that he had just released the copy and was so eager to move on to the next challenge, he couldn't help but admire Shu Yan's determination and perseverance. But the hunting area, the life hunting area is a place outside the city that is polluted by the underworld disaster. It is different from the novice dungeon. It is full of evil monsters, which start at least level 10. There are not only ordinary monsters, but also elite monsters. In addition, there may also be alienated and out-of-control monsters. The alien races from all over the world who smuggled in. The most troublesome thing is that the underworld mist inside will increase the attributes of the evil monsters, and then weaken the attributes of the human life hunter. This plus and minus will make the gap even wider. In addition, it will be dark soon. You can't enter the life hunting area after dark. This is an iron rule that is made with blood. The evil monsters in the hunting area all have the talent for night fighting. At night, their attack damage will be doubled and the fog increase will be added. Ordinary monsters will be directly upgraded to elites, elites will become bosses, and the boss, yourself, think about it. It's definitely not possible to go now. Not to mention the danger, the Life Hunter District Traffic Bureau will not let a life hunter below level 10 go. Shu Yan said, "So, I want you to give me a pass." "You know all about the pass." Shu Yan nodded and said, "I checked the information and found that if a newcomer wants to reach level 16 within a week, then he can only have a chance by going to the hunting area in advance. After all, it is difficult to reach level 10 within a week just relying on the upgrade points in the city. It is impossible to really wait until level 10 before going to the life hunting area. In that case, it is equivalent to giving up the opportunity to take the exam in the Hunting God Pavilion." According to Senior Qin Feng's experience, he got the pass to enter the hunting zone on the second day after finishing the novice copy. As long as he has the exam qualifications of the Hunting God Pavilion and the school's stamped certificate, he can get it and advance this pass. Tang Ji nodded, "You are indeed attentive. Yes, according to your conditions, you can indeed get the pass in advance, but making the pass requires a certain process. You can only get it tomorrow at the earliest. In this way, you go back to rest first, and tomorrow as soon as the pass comes out in the morning, I will send it to you as soon as possible." Shu Yan nodded in agreement. "After all, it's going to be dark soon. I don't go into the hunting area after dark, not because I'm a coward, but because it's thankless. What's more, I still have 28,000 points of dead soul recovery energy. What's the use of this thing? I have to go back first. Do some research. Tang Ji called a special car to take Shu Yan back to school. This was a pick-up and drop-off treatment for the rookie king. And because Gongqing didn't live on campus, he didn't go with Shu Yan. Shortly after Shu Yan left, the dungeon trials of the students ended one after another. Most of them quit after finishing the previous stage. At this time, they could almost reach level 2. Only a few of them could form a team and complete half of it, and they could probably reach level 3. I'll go. I didn't notice just now. You're already at level 3, how did you practice? It's awesome. It's so fun to form a team and bring the girls together to kill monsters. Anyway, I was so scared that those monsters were so scary. Do you know what it's like to be pitted by teammates? It's so uncomfortable. I'm so unlucky to be paired with that bastard guy. I'm a pig teammate. It's so bad. I thought he was a rough country and his 5 elements soul skill is a cannon, so he should be a bit powerful, but guess what the cannon is used for? I'll scare you to death if I tell you. That soul skill allows the user to convert the minerals and elements in the soil and rocks into high-temperature flames, which can then be used for cooking, roasting potatoes with earth cannons, roasting corns with earth cannons, and stewing soup with earth cannons. I was so damn drunk, thanks to that cannon man, that I was almost wiped out in the novice copy. When Fei Nan came out, his face was gray, smelling of cigarette smoke, and several pieces of his clothes were burned. He had just been beaten so hard in the dungeon that he wanted to cry bitterly. It was said that true knowledge comes from practice, such as cannons and long-range attacks. However, he understood through experience that his soul skills were more of a way of life. Skills, not for fighting. Everyone was very surprised when they downloaded the dungeon for the first time. After coming out, everyone also had their own feelings. Then soon, each of them saw the golden notice in the sky. After that, their eyes could never leave her. Quancheng No. 1 Middle School, Freshman Shu Yan, Special Fate Hunter, Level 6. Level 6. Shock. Shocking. Is there anything more shocking than this? When everyone is around level 2, and level 3 is considered very impressive, some people have actually reached level 6. At this moment, Fei Nan also looked up and saw the golden notice. Overjoyed, the thought of being dismissed was forgotten in an instant. Is there anything better than a brother's future? A copy with full experience level 5. He has fault level 6. In an instant, a proud roar resounded through the sky. He is my brother. Back in the dormitory, Shu Yan began to meditate. Entering concentration can cultivate willpower. Higher willpower can not only control the real body more stably, but also increase the power of the 5 elements soul skills to a certain extent. Shu Yan's absolute will can make Wanli Carnage never lose control, and Wanli Carnage has no 5 elements attributes. In theory, he can give up the practice of willpower. However, Shu Yan still subconsciously meditated. Because for him, using trance instead of sleep can escape the damn curse. This has been Shu Yan's habit for the past 3 years. Close your eyes and start meditating. He felt the world spin before his eyes, and the next moment, he appeared in the starry sky. The starry sky around us is vast and boundless. In the center of the earth, a black altar suddenly appeared. Shu Yan's heart trembled. He had never been in such a meditative setting before. The black altar in the scene exudes a creepy aura, accompanied by bursts of cries of ghosts and howls of wolves, as if the wailing of countless dead souls is gathered together, making one's hair tremble. The next moment, a data frame emerged on the black altar. Remaining soul energy, 28,000. Transcend soul energy, 0. Are you going to undergo salvation? Close black lens bracket. What does it mean? While Shu Yan was horrified, he was also really confused. The black altar seemed to be asking him to perform some kind of ritual for the salvation of dead souls. The surrounding starry sky is still silent. Transcendence, Shu Yan said tentatively. The dead have returned and have chosen to be saved. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Start the process of salvation now. Close black lens bracket. The altar's data frame reappeared, accompanied by a horrifying voiceover that sounded throughout the world. Everything seems to be moving in an uncontrollable direction. As the transcendence command was given, in an instant, the black altar burst open, and countless will-o'-the-wisps spewed out, gathered in midair, and then formed a gorgeous bloody talisman. The talismans began to burn, as if they were paying homage to the underworld ghosts and gods in the endless void. And as it burned, piles of data barrages flashed quickly like exploding fireworks. Transcend soul energy 20. Transcend soul energy 30. Transcend soul energy 50, transcend soul energy 80. Cumulative soul energy saved, 18,980. Ding. When the cumulative transcendence data jumped to 18,980, a golden light suddenly flashed from the black altar, and with the appearance of this golden light, Shuyan felt that the power in his body was once again filled, and he felt as if his head had expanded in an instant. Shuyan knows this feeling. This special feeling can only be felt at the moment of upgrading. Could it be? Shuyan was shocked. Upgraded. With a thought, he said, "Stop the salvation." The altar's data frame reappeared, accompanied by a horrifying voiceover that sounded throughout the world. The dead return and stop their salvation. Close black lens bracket. The bloody talismans burning in the air suddenly dispersed, turning into countless will-o-wisps and falling back into the cracked altar. The black altar reclosed and returned to its original state, and the data frame was displayed. Total recovered soul energy, 28,000. The energy of the deceased soul has been transcended, 18,980. Stock of untransferred dead souls, 9,020. There are still more than 9,000 dead souls whose energy has not been transcended, but having said that, the experience just now was an upgrade, right? In order to confirm his thoughts, Shuyan quickly checked his attributes. Name: Shuyan. Level: 7. Open black lens bracket power, 115 close black lens bracket. Agility: 115. Open black lens bracket spirit, 115 close black lens bracket. Physique: 115. Will: 1909 plus 115. True body: Wanli Cantu. Level: 7. Strength: 805 7 times unparalleled. Agility: 805 7 times unparalleled. Spirit: 805 7 times unparalleled. Physique: 805 7 times unparalleled. Soul skill: go into battle 7 times unparalleled attack, 7 times strength attribute, damage up to 5,635. Level 7. It is indeed level 7. Upgraded. But why was it upgraded? The previous experience slot showed 819,780. It obviously still requires 18,980 experience points to reach level 7. Where did this experience come from? I just saved 18,980 points of soul energy and then upgraded. 18,980. Such a coincidence. Could it be? No need to think. There must be a relationship between the two. Maybe. That's right. The conclusion is, the energy of transcending the souls of the dead can be converted into the experience points of the real body. Reasonable. Shuyan calmed down his excitement and forced himself to calm down. What about willpower? Shuyan was also shocked when he noticed the data of willpower. The original data at level 6 was will, 11 plus 95. Now at level 7, the data has become will, 1909 plus 115. The brackets at the end represent the basic mental attributes of the real body, which increased from 95 to 115, an increase of 20 points at the first level, which is reasonable. But the main willpower soared from 11 to 1909, an increase of 1898. Is this reasonable? Etc. The data, 1898, also looks familiar. The energy of the soul that has been transcended is shown as 18,980. The relationship between the two is 10 times. Maybe. That's right. The conclusion is, can you increase your willpower by 1 point by transcending 10 points of soul energy? Reasonable. The black altar has no further explanation. If this is true, then the energy of the dead souls is of great use. Not only can it be transformed into experience, but it can also improve willpower. Can't even think about it. Of course, the above is just a reasonable inference, but Shuyan is not afraid of further verification. There are still 9,020 points of soul energy that have not been transcended. If this speculation is correct, then after the 9,020 points of soul energy are transferred, the willpower will be increased by 902 points, and the experience value will also be increased by 9,020 points. In order to verify this idea, Shuyan began to carry out practical operations. Remaining soul energy, 9020. Transcendence has been selected. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Start the process of transcendence. Close black lens bracket. Transcendence. The black altar cracked, and countless ghost fires spurted out, rising into the sky, and then gathered in the sky to form a gorgeous bloody talisman. The talisman began to burn. The data flashes quickly like a barrage. Transcend soul energy -80, experience value +80, willpower +8. Transcend soul energy -80, experience value +80, willpower +8. Boom. Shu Yan's body trembled violently and he froze in place. Not a dream. It's really not a dream. The black altar is no longer pretentious at all. The amount of experience points you can gain by overcoming the energy of the dead souls can also increase additional willpower. The improvement of experience value and will attribute will be directly told to you in the form of barrage data. You don't have to guess. I have a showdown. Outstanding brand. Transcend soul energy 800. Will +80. Experience +800. As the last +800 data popped out, the bloody talisman burning in the air had been burned away, leaving only a trace of smoke, which was collected into the altar. The cracked black altar closed again and returned to its original state. Then a thrilling voiceover sounded in this world. Open black lens bracket. Transcendence is completed. Close black lens bracket. The energy of the souls saved this time, 9020. Cumulative soul energy saved, 28,000. Remaining soul energy, 0. Shu Yan couldn't wait to check the will attribute. Name, Shu Yan. Will, 2811 + 115. After transcending 9020 soul energy, the willpower increased from 1909 to 2811, which was indeed an increase of 902 points. View the experience panel. Current level, 7. Current experience, 9020. Distance to next level experience, 9020 27,450ths. After overcoming 9020 soul energy, the experience level increased by 9020 points, which corresponds to the situation. The test results are perfect. The effect is explosive. The natal soul skill, soul eating. I respect you. I didn't know its use before, but now it seems that this natal soul skill is simply a magical skill. Killing each evil monster can not only gain experience points, but also recover soul energy equal to the experience points. By transcending the energy of the dead souls, these energies can be transformed into experience again. It seems quite complicated to say, but in short, it is. You get double experience by spawning monsters yourself. To put it more simply, you can burn unlimited pairs like in the game, and you can also save experience. Whenever you want to upgrade, just let the black altar convert the energy of the dead souls into experience points. What's this? This is a perfect upgrade to your magical skills. Even for geniuses, it is extremely difficult to reach level 16 in 1 week. In the past 10 years in Gongqing, no one has been admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion. Everyone has failed at the hard level of level 16 in 1 week. Previously, Shu Yan was a little worried about whether he could complete this almost possible upgrade task, so he filled up the upgrade schedule and never let go of any free time. But now, I am born with level 2. And he has the soul-eating skill. The energy of the dead soul sucked can be converted into experience, which is equivalent to double experience upgrades. That's it. Life. Is it difficult to level up to level 16 in 1 week? Early the next morning, Principal Tang Ji sent the pass and gave an explanation. Shu Yan took the pass solemnly. He felt no pressure to go to the hunting area, but the poster in the hands of Principal Tang Ji made him feel a lot of pressure. The poster is his portrait and reads, Gongqing No. 1 Middle School welcomes you. As the new admissions season approaches, he becomes the admissions spokesperson. Although Shu Yan has always been happy to play this role for the school, the sentence on the poster, join Gongqing No. 1 Middle School, you can also complete level 6 alone, is somewhat deceptive. The pass has been given to you, but you still need to go to the Life Hunters Guild for identity verification. Only with the pass and identity verification will the Traffic Bureau let you enter the life hunting area. Clear. The guild is located at Gongqing South Station, which is some distance away from here. I have arranged transportation for you, and you can leave immediately. Okay, thank you Principal. Principal Tang Ji said. I have to thank you. You cleared level 6 and set a record. The enrollment situation of our number 1 middle school this year is very ideal. If you are admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion, then our number 1 middle school will have a greater chance. We will be promoted to a prestigious local school, so you must work hard. The future of Quancheng number 1 middle school is in your hands. Xu Yan, Xu Yan took the car and arrived at Quancheng South Station. Quancheng South Station is the transportation hub for all life hunting divisions in Quancheng. Through the transmission point of Quancheng South Station, you can teleport to the life hunting area outside the city. But before going to the hunting area, he had to go to the guild for identity verification. Countless life hunters shuttled through the Quancheng South Station, some were in a hurry, some were patrolling, and some were exchanging intelligence. There are many buildings around the site, the most eye-catching of which is the Life Hunter Guild. The Life Hunters Guild is completely different from the official Zhenquan division. It originated from the private sector and was jointly created by a group of passionate adventurers and life hunters. The original intention of the guild was to hunt monsters, seal the underworld, and protect the safety of the human race without official control or supervision. Today, the Life Hunters Guild has developed into a behemoth with a large group of members. The headquarters of the Life Hunters Guild is located in the Magic City, and its branches are located in major, medium and small cities in the human world. In the Life Hunter Guild, members can freely form teams, accept tasks, exchange experiences, and even trade various trophies and materials. There is a strict hierarchy within the guild, from junior life hunters to senior life hunters and even legendary life hunters. Each stage has different tasks and privileges. This was Xu Yan's first time coming to the Life Hunters Guild, and he had only seen it in books before. A transparent smart sensor screen is embedded in the tall gate to display various information and images in the form of virtual projection. In the lobby, towering columns have been replaced with touch-enabled interactive columns. Each touch column is equipped with a high-definition touchscreen, representing different functions, such as task release, equipment trading, material exchange, etc. Members can easily complete the actions they need via icons on the touchscreen. Xu Yan found a free touch column position. Various options were displayed on the touchscreen. He touched the screen lightly to activate the guild's huge network. Start identity authentication. Certification successful. Member of Human Race Daxia District, Xu Yan. Activate the authority of the Life Hunter in Daxia District. Contribution 0. Permission Level 1. L. After completing the identity authentication, you will have the membership rights of the Daxia District Life Hunter Guild. But the authority level is very low, only 1 level. If you want to have greater authority, you can only increase your contribution. The business atmosphere in the guild is very strong, with a consignment office and an auction house. It is nothing new that guild members can trade among themselves. Trading here is the safest, after all, it is endorsed by the guild. Xu Yan took a quick look at the items for sale in the guild. Horcruxes, materials, cooking, medicine, everything. Horcruxes are similar to the weapons and equipment of the real body, which can increase the attributes of the real body. They are generally made by the life hunter who awakens the blacksmith, real body, or the tailor, real body. Diao King Staff Black Iron Level, Spirit +1, Strength -1, Price, 298 gold coins. Turtle Shell Cloak Black Iron Level, Constitution +2, Agility -1, Price, 319 gold coins. Windbone Long Sword Black Iron Level, Strength +10, Agility +10, Price, 5,276 gold coins. Open Black Lens Bracket, Close Black Lens Bracket. It can be seen that the Horcrux with reduced attributes cannot be sold at a high price, while the price of those with double added attributes has increased several times. Xu Yan sighed helplessly. He only had about 100 gold coins in total, and he couldn't even afford the cheapest Black Iron level Horcrux. As for the more expensive bronze and silver levels, just look at them, they have nothing to do with him. Thinking about it later, considering the special uses of Horcruxes, there was actually no need for him to buy them. To put it simply, the soul weapon is equipped on the Life Hunter's body and acts on the Life Hunter's true body. For example, the Windbone Long Sword. The Life Hunter holds the Windbone Long Sword physical body. When the real body is possessed, the real body will also hold the windbone longsword virtual body. But Shu Yan's situation is somewhat special. His true body, Wanli Cantu, is different from the ordinary true body in that it is a physical entity. When he awakens, Wanli Cantu already has a knife in his hand. It is a weapon of his own, so there is no need for him to acquire Horcruxes. Moreover, the Horcrux adds additional attributes, not the basic attributes that come with the real body, and does not enjoy the multiplication bonus of unparalleled talent. For Shu Yan, it would be very useless if he could not enjoy the doubled profits. After writing down the value of some low-level materials, Shu Yan began to check the tasks. After completing guild tasks, guild members can receive certain monetary rewards and a certain level of contribution. Unlimited recycling of tiger butterfly wings, each recycling price is 9 gold coins. Close black lens bracket. Unlimited recycling of black wolf skins, each recycling price is 11 gold coins. Close black lens bracket. Unlimited recovery of soul bones of evil monsters, no limit to the type and level of evil monsters, each recycling price is 13 gold coins. Close black lens bracket. The number of related tasks in the guild is not too many. Most of them are tasks to collect materials. Judging from the tasks released, it is not difficult to judge that Gongqing is a logistics city. Logistics City has a distinctive feature, that is, the awakened life hunters are basically ordinary people, and about 90% of these ordinary people are craftsman type, rather than combat type. The growth of the four-dimensional attributes of craftsman type life hunters is very low. Upgrading their level is of little significance to them, but skill proficiency is crucial to them. They require a large amount of materials for skill training. High skill proficiency can increase the success rate of manufacturing and improve the quality of finished products. High-quality finished products can naturally be sold at a better price. Skilled craftsman life hunter has weak combat power and needs combat life hunter to help it obtain materials. Combat life hunter will have various consumption in the battle and also needs skilled craftsman life hunter to provide it corresponding finished products. In this way, a good cycle is formed, and even ordinary craftsmen can achieve good development. The monster levels in Gongqing life hunting area are concentrated between level 10 and 20, which is a low-level area. The evil monsters inside are full of treasures, and the probability of exploding materials is much higher than that of novice dungeons. Well, this mission is a bit interesting. Kill the horned dragon. Close black lens bracket. Click on the touchscreen for more information. The last witness saw it in territory number 758 deep in the hunting area. Close black lens bracket. Danger level. Extremely dangerous. Close black lens bracket. Killing it will reduce the fog of the underworld in the hunting area and increase the scope of activities in the safe area of Quan City. Close black lens bracket. Kill reward. 100,000 gold coins, 10,000 contribution, 5 elements soul stone. The reward given by the task is 100,000 gold coins, 10,000 contribution points, and a 5 elements soul stone. Being able to give such a reward really shows that this task is extremely dangerous. Not to mention gold coins and contribution points, the 5 elements soul stone is an important material for making the underworld key. The underworld secret is the most valuable trading category in the life hunter circle. It allows the real body to learn new soul skills. It is hard to find in the market, and its most important production material, 5 elements soul stone, is also extremely valuable. However, the prerequisite for learning the secrets of Gongqing is that the real body must have the attributes of the 5 elements. Wanli Cantu does not have the 5 elements attribute, so it cannot learn the secrets of Gongqing, but Shu Yan thought about it, and it is still necessary to fight for the 5 elements soul stone. Because it's expensive, Shu Yan inquired a little about the horned dragon disaster. Some teams are discussing. The Chu Long disaster is one of the feared 12 disaster kings in the hunting area of Gongqing. The level 15 elite leader possesses the 5 elements of fire and wood, and has created unimaginable soul skills. His combat power is comparable to that of a human destiny master. He has great intelligence and is extremely cunning. A dozen heroes have died in his hands. No hero above level 20 is his opponent. We can't take on this task. We really can't take it on. We can only wait for the national team to take action. If you want to go to the hunting area to level up, remember to avoid it and don't enter the territory numbered 758. Shu Yan's mouth froze slightly. I had thought that the horned dragon disaster was very strong, but I had never thought that it would be so strong. It possesses extremely rare double 5 elements and is comparable to the human destiny master. At level 15, it can challenge a team of level 20 heroes. I am only level 7 now. Although the attributes of Wanli Cantu have a 7 times unparalleled bonus, Wanli Cantu does not have the 5-element soul skill. The basic attack method is single, and the fog in the life hunting area will reduce the human life hunting master ability to increase the damage of evil monsters. This back and forth. Come on. Shu Yan immediately gave up the idea of dealing with the horned dragon disaster, but his eyes were still looking at the kill reward greedily. 100,000 gold coins, 10,000 contribution, 1 5-element soul stone. It's not too late to challenge again when your level is higher. After the identity authentication was completed, Shu Yan learned some important information about the hunting area. When everything was ready, he came to the teleportation point of the South Station. The staff of the Railway Bureau took his pass and swiped it on the machine at the checkpoint to identify the authenticity of the pass. Ding! The machine suddenly made an abnormal noise. This pass is wrong. This pass is fake. Shu Yan was stunned. Fake. The administrator said angrily. Do you know that giving false testimony is a crime and you will be jailed? Shu Yan panicked inexplicably. Wait a minute, this must be a misunderstanding. How could it be false evidence? The administrator stared at Shu Yan sharply, his face full of doubts. The red light on the card swiping machine means that the information on the pass is incorrect and inconsistent with your identity certified in the guild. How do you explain it? Inconsistent. Shu Yan was more confused than ever. It is absolutely impossible for Old Tang to cause trouble with the pass, so the problem should lie in the identity authentication. He quickly recalled the certification process just now, but he didn't seem to find anything he did wrong. I just went to the guild for identity verification. Maybe I neglected some aspect. Let me think about it again. Negligence. Seeing that Shu Yan's attitude was quite sincere, the administrator said, it was machine verification just now. Now I will transfer it to manual verification for you. I hope you are really negligent and not deliberately pretending to try to get through. After saying that, he took out the pass from the card machine and looked at it carefully. Suddenly he saw something and his brows trembled twice. After a while, he said, are you a student of Gongqing number 1 middle school? Yes. Awakened the true form the day before yesterday, and downloaded the novice copy for the first time yesterday, right? Yes. Then I know what the problem is. Shu Yan poked his head over. What's wrong? The administrator pointed to a place on the pass and said, that's it. Shu Yan followed the administrator's finger and looked over. What was written there was level 6. The administrator shook his head and sneered. Didn't you just download the novice copy yesterday? How could it be level 6? There must be a mistake. This low-level mistake is simply outrageous. You must correct your level information on the pass to be consistent with the identity certified by the guild, otherwise you will not be able to pass the site inspection. Shu Yan suddenly realized. Oh, so that's it. He is now level 7, not level 6. The level on the pass was registered by Old Tang yesterday. Old Tang did not make a mistake. The mistake was that he upgraded too quickly. The principal's signature is authentic, and the school's seal is correct. If it's just a wrong level, it would be easier to reconnect to the internet and update it. As he said that, the administrator placed the pass on another gate, and a green light flashed. The machine makes a sound. Has been connected to the Daxia District Life Hunter Guild network. Close black lens bracket. This pass matches guild member Shu Yan. Close black lens bracket. Pass information is being updated simultaneously. Close black lens bracket. Synchronization completed. Close black lens bracket. Look, it's done. You must have registered the wrong level. You can't be so careless in the future. As a newcomer, even the strongest talented newcomer can only reach level 5. How can it be level 6? It looks fake at first glance. Well, the administrator educated Shu Yan, then picked up the updated pass. Be honest and let me see your true level. Look at this. The administrator was completely out of his mind. It felt like my head had been hit by a jack. accompanied by a scream that sounded like a ghost. Level 7. Level 5 is already too much. Level 6 is absolutely impossible. That level 7. No, this is impossible. Absolutely impossible. There must be a mistake. The site cannot be passed. He put the pass into the gate of the teleportation point, and then the green light came on and the prompt sounded. The information is correct and is being sent. Close black lens bracket. FK. The administrator's eyes almost jumped out of his sockets. He was so shocked that he couldn't express it accurately. 1,000 words finally turned into a FKU that shattered his eardrums. At that time, Shu Yan had already teleported away. Teleport station number 8 is the only human building in the Kwanai life hunting area, just like a tower. The lights from the top of the building illuminated a small area around it. This small area is also the only safe place in the Kwanai hunting area. There is no administrator at teleport station number 8, so life hunters can teleport back to Kwancheng South Station from here at their own expense. Stepping out of teleport station number 8, the air immediately became oppressive. This place is shrouded in fog all year round, a haze, a howling cold wind, accompanied by the sound of howling ghosts. It is as oppressive as a hell on earth. The timid person cannot move even half a step here. The further away from Station 8, the thicker the fog becomes. Less than 100 steps away, the Tower 8 behind us is already submerged in the mist. These fogs are the mist of underworld, which can increase the damage of evil monsters. Shu Yan quickly summoned Wanli Cantu. With bodyguards accompanying him, he would feel much more at ease. After all, the evil monsters here start at level 10, and there is also a fog increase. The shadow werewolf was found at 12 o'clock, slaughtered thousands of miles away, and applied to fight. Close black lens bracket. As soon as Wanli Cantu came out, he realized that something was wrong, and the monster information it sensed also appeared in Shu Yan's mind. Monster. Shadow werewolf. Open black lens bracket level 10 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket strength 195 close black lens bracket. Agility 340 fog increase. Open black lens bracket spirit 70 close black lens bracket. Physique 110. Talent sneak attack, misty soul skill, phantom. It can disappear in an instant and appear in another place, making it difficult to lock the target. Activated in fog. Cooling time is 1 minute. Mist soul skill. Shadow Devourer can summon sharp claws from the fog, causing powerful melee damage. Activated in fog. Cooling time is 1 minute. The level 10 Shadow Werewolf disappears in the darkness, as if invisible. If it weren't for Wanli Cantu's induction, Shu Yan wouldn't be able to see it at all. Under the amplification of fog, the Shadow Werewolf's agility is as high as 340, and he is gifted with sneak attacks, ready to give his prey a fatal blow at any time. Seeing such attributes, Shu Yan couldn't help but feel scared. His own agility was only 115, which was more than 200 points behind it. If Wanli Cantu hadn't raised his warning middle finger at the 12 o'clock direction, he might have been sneak attacked by the Shadow Werewolf. Not only does the Shadow Werewolf's agility attribute explode, it also has 2 skills that can be activated in the fog. It can disappear in an instant, or it can stretch out its shadowy claws in the mist, making it difficult for people to guard against it. Hunting area. It's really dangerous. Different from the novice copy, it is really life-threatening. If you are not careful, you will burp. But the Shadow Werewolf's explosive attributes and mysterious mist soul skills can only be regarded as a younger brother in front of Wanli Cantu, whose 4-dimensional attributes are as high as 805, and in front of the absolute power of 7 times the unparalleled damage of 5,635. War. 805's agility caused a burst of wind, and in the blink of an eye Wanli Cantu had rushed in front of the Shadow Werewolf. The Shadow Werewolf used the soul skill Phantom to disappear instantly, and then appeared behind Wanli Cantu. The next moment, the shadow ripped apart, summoning its claws to claw hard at Wanli Cantu's back. In the world of martial arts, speed is the only thing that can't be broken. Wanli Zatu's agility of 800 plus is enough to evade this plot. The next moment, the 2 Shadow Werewolves whose mist soul skills were cooling down were completely tragic. Wanli Cantu raised his broken knife. Speed suppression. Power suppression. The Shadow Werewolf is inevitable. 1 knife. 5,635. Boom. End the battle. Successfully killed the level 10 Shadow Werewolf, experience plus 100. Successfully sucked the soul of the Shadow Werewolf, recovered soul energy plus 100. Chapter 31. By reviewing the battle between Wanli Cantu and the Shadow Werewolf, Shuyan discovered something remarkable. Didn't it mean that the fog will reduce the attributes of the Life Hunter? However, my attributes have not been reduced, nor has Wanli Cantu. Also, why do I feel that the fog is the home field of Wanli Zantu? Although the fog does not increase the attributes of Wanli Zantu, Wanli Zangtu's induction in the fog is stronger than outside the fog. Then you can sense the Shadow Werewolf in the dark from a long distance, as if every bit of fog here is its tentacles. Before the review was over, Wanli Cantu's mist sensor came again. The enemy was discovered at 3 o'clock, slaughtered thousands of miles away, and requested to go to war. Approve. Fight, 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 fight. The density of ear monsters in the life hunting zone is much higher than that of the novice copy. Bailey Kanbutu's sword moves with his hands and falls, simple and effective. Kill the level 10 Tiger Butterfly Waiter, experience plus 120. Successfully sucked the soul of the Tiger Butterfly Waiter, recovered soul energy plus 120. Get Tiger Butterfly Wings. Kill level 10 monsters, experience plus 150. Successfully sucked the soul of the Horror Monster, recovered soul energy plus 150. Obtain the soul bone of the Fear Monster. The mist monsters in the hunting area have an increase in the fog effect, so the experience value obtained by killing them is not fixed. For the same level 10 monster, the experience value fluctuates between 100 to 150. In short, it is much higher than the original standard. In addition, the probability of revealing materials is much higher than the novice copy. Name: Shuyan. Current level: 7. Current experience: 12,300. Upgrade experience: 12,327,450. Stock of dead souls: 3,280. After killing less than 20 monsters, the experience has increased by 3,280, and the stock of dead souls has also increased by 3,280. At this rate, it will take less than an hour to reach level 8 at most. It is indeed a treasure land for leveling. Continue. Wanli Cantu was at home in the mist, like a hunter equipped with radar, like a butcher entering the sheepfold. Every evil monster could hardly escape its induction, let alone its slashing knife. Experience value plus 110. Recover soul energy plus 110. Experience value plus 120. Recover soul energy plus 120. Experience value plus 130. Recover dead soul energy plus 130. The reminders of gaining experience and absorbing the energy of dead souls flooded the screen like barrages, and Shuyan was a little dizzy. But Wanli Cantu also has a disadvantage, that is, it does not distinguish between ourselves and the enemy. Occasionally, I will encounter a leveling human life hunter in the life hunting area, and it almost kills people. Fortunately, Shuyan found out in time and stopped the Wanli slaughter of Hongyan. If he really killed someone by mistake, then he would become a murderer, or at least an accomplice, and would most likely appear on the wanted list of the Zhengquan division. Fortunately, it didn't lead to a big mistake, but it also gave Shuyan more worries. You still have to go deeper into the life hunting area, so you will encounter much fewer human levelers. The fog in the deep area is thicker, but it has no effect on Wanli Cantu. In the fog, Wanli Cantu seemed to have tentacles, and a map of the foggy terrain sensed by Wanli Cantu gradually formed in Shuyan's mind, with every plant and tree clearly visible. The knife fell from the hand. Brush along the way. Soon, upgraded golden light appeared on Shuyan and Wanli Cantu at the same time. Level 8. The basic 4 dimensions of the level 8 body are all 136. The 4 dimensions of Wanli Cantu are 8 times unparalleled, each with 1088. Go to battle is 8 times unparalleled, with 1/8704. Fry. Explode. View the experience panel. Current level: 8. Upgrade experience: 058,230. Stock of dead souls: 18,430. The next upgrade requires 58,230 experience points. There are still a lot of dead souls that have not been converted, and Shuyan plans to save them first. Continue to kill monsters. The level 8 10,000 miles of slaughter's 4-dimensional attributes have all exceeded 1,000, and the damage from a single slash is approaching over 10,000, and is no longer limited to level 10 monsters. You can also kill level 11, 12 or even 13 level monsters at will. One knife. One knife. Still a knife. It's that simple, just do it. The only thing you have to worry about is that you can't be discovered by evil monsters, and you have to stay away, and don't become a drag bottle for Wanli slaughter. Shu Yan carefully hid himself, because he had the fog map provided by Wanli Cantu in his mind, so he could always avoid the evil monsters very well. Silently do the work of counting money and collecting materials secretly. It works perfectly with Wanli Cantu. Experience value plus 160. Recover soul energy plus 160. Obtain black fur wolf skin plus 1. Experience value plus 180. Recover soul energy plus 180. Obtain the soul bone of the evil monster plus 1. Successfully absorbed the soul of shadow latent shadow, recovered soul energy plus 190. Ding. As these 190 points of soul energy were absorbed into the void, the familiar voice suddenly sounded in Shu Yan's head. Achievement achieved. A total of 100,000 dead soul energy recovered. Achievement. Shu Yan was stunned and subconsciously checked the experience panel. Open black lens bracket L level 8. Upgrade experience 53,570 58,230. Dead souls have been saved 28,000. Untranscended souls 72,000. Cumulative recovery of soul energy 100,000. It must be said that Wanli Cantu is really powerful. I ate 100,000 souls before I knew it. The stock of dead souls has now reached 72,000. If all are converted into experience, you can now upgrade on the spot. While Shu Yan was talking to himself, the familiar voice from the altar suddenly sounded in his head. A total of 100,000 dead souls have been recovered, so will salvation be far away? Close black lens bracket. A total of 100,000 dead souls have been saved, and you can receive gifts from the underworld. Save 100,000 dead souls. Gift from the underworld. Unexpectedly, there is such an unexpected surprise. What is this gift from Wangquan? Enter Samadhi. Enter the altar place. Stock of dead souls 72,000. All have been selected for salvation. Open black lens bracket. Start the process of transcendence. Transcendence. A familiar scene. The black altar cracked open, countless ghost fires spurted out, rose into the sky, and then gathered in the sky, forming a gorgeous bloody talisman. The talisman began to burn. The data flashes quickly like a barrage. Transcend soul energy 72000, experience value plus 72,000, willpower plus 7200. Boom. Here we go to Quantai to recruit old men, and save 100,000 men and kill Yama. Close black lens bracket. Boom. A total of 100,000 souls have been saved, and gifts from Wangquan. Boom. Accompanied by bright golden light. A huge heavenly talisman fell from the sky. This is. Shu Yan's body trembled violently and he froze in place. A total of 100,000 souls have been saved. A vision occurs. The altar opened like a huge mouth full of fangs, and a huge heavenly talisman fell from the sky and escaped into the altar. At the same time, a voice sounded in Shu Yan's mind. Return of the dead, gift from Wangquan, obtain the soul skill, all thoughts are lost. All thoughts are shattered. The grey thoughts of eating hundreds of thousands of dead souls are transformed into the most sinister and cruel curses in the three realms with deep-seated grief, shock, anger, resentment, fear, and hatred, affecting the opponent's mind and making the enemy. All thoughts are lost, and even the bones are broken into pieces. Close black lens bracket. The power of soul skills is related to the willpower of the body. The higher the willpower, the stronger the power. Shu Yan was shocked. Huang Quan's gift actually gave him a natal soul skill. You must know that in the laws of heaven and earth of life hunters, only the true body can have soul skills. I have never heard of anyone whose body has soul skills, but I not only have soul skills in my body, but also more than one. He is worried that his main body attack is weak and has no power to use it. This is also the biggest shortcoming that is easily targeted by opponents. Unexpectedly, he suddenly obtained his natal soul skill, all thoughts are lost. Losing all thoughts is a spiritual attack that kills invisible people. It is undoubtedly a powerful soul skill. The power of his natal soul skills is related to his willpower, which also gives his will attribute a place to be used. It is indeed the fate of Return of the Dead. I am my true self. My true body is me. You are really using your body as your real body. What's more, the main body is even more powerful than the real body Wanli Cantu in some aspects. Wanli Cantu doesn't have the 5 elements, so it can't learn new soul skills, but its main body can. Moreover, the main body does not need to learn the innate soul skills of death, but only needs to save the souls of the dead. The gift of the underworld obtained by saving 100,000 souls' original soul skill, all thoughts are disappointed, is already so powerful, so the gift received by saving 1 million souls, tens of millions of souls, wouldn't it make the whole world shake and the heaven and earth be horrified? I can't imagine it, but when I think about it, I feel this fate so hard. Previously, Wanli Cantu did not have any complex and gorgeous skills, only unparalleled normal attacks. The combat mode was too simple. When encountering evil monsters with multiple soul skills, it sometimes seemed powerless or thankless. But now, you have the mental curse of all thoughts are in despair. No matter how many soul skills your opponent has, once all thoughts are in despair, what will you have to fight in the past? The next moment, the sword is coming, and the god of death is coming. The main word is absolute. Ding. All the dead souls were saved, and the experience value was increased by more than 40,000. Has been promoted to level 9. Open black lens bracket name close black lens bracket, Shu Yan. Level 9. Will 10,011 plus 158. Open black lens bracket power, 158 close black lens bracket. Agility, 158. Open black lens bracket spirit, 158 close black lens bracket. Physique, 158. Comma, open black lens bracket true body close black lens bracket, Wanli Cantu. Level 9. Strength 1422, 9 times unparalleled. Agility 1422, 9 times unparalleled. Spirit 1422, 9 times unparalleled. Physique 1422, 9 times unparalleled. Soul skill go into battle, 9 times unparalleled attack, 9 times strength attribute, damage up to 12,798. Comma, real body 3-dimensional, height, 4.55 meters. Weight, 860 pounds. Broken knife, 3.87 meters. Open black lens bracket other, close black lens bracket. Comma, the value of the will attribute of the main body has exceeded 10,000, which indicates that the effect of all thoughts are lost may be very terrifying. Wanli Cantu's damage was as high as 12,000. Although it is impossible to accurately judge how many levels of evil monsters his strength is equivalent to, Shu Yan is completely confident that he can walk sideways in this low-level life hunting area with the combination of the spiritual curse of his body and the butcher knife of his real body. Wanli Massacre. Current level, 9. Current experience, 67,340. Upgrade experience, 67,340 88,200. Cumulative number of dead souls recovered, 100,000. Cumulative souls saved, 100,000. Dead soul stock, 0. I just transferred all the accumulated dead soul energy, and my experience suddenly increased by 72,000. Not only did I help myself to reach level 9, but I also had 67,430 experience points left. I was just over 20,000 experience points away from level 10. I believe it will be achieved soon. Shu Yan was about to leave to brush monsters and upgrade, but found that his body was too dirty. Having just added thousands of points of willpower out of thin air, coupled with the baptism given by the underworld, his soul seemed to have been washed, the turbid matter was expelled from the body, and his whole body was filled with the sticky smell of the black altar. Take a shower first. Shu Yan was not completely ignorant of the surrounding environment. He had done his homework before coming to the hunting area. Not to mention that Wanli Cantu's induction had carved a foggy map into his mind, but he could also deduce his approximate location through the towering golden spring trees in front of him. The golden spring tree is a unique plant here, relying on underground spring water to survive. It is also the only existence in the hunting area of Gongqing that can dispel the fog. The fog will take a detour when it encounters the golden spring tree, so fog-free territory is formed near the golden spring tree. This site is numbered 749 and is called the Clean Area. The most famous thing about the pure area is the dozens of underground springs, which are as big as the mouth of a bowl and as small as the thickness of a finger. They produce smoke and mist, naturally ward off evil spirits, and exude a mysterious energy. The mist dare not invade this pure land, and the evil monsters also stay away. The air here is pure without any pollution, as if you have entered another world. However, this place is not easy to find. The thick fog in the hunting area is like a maze, which often makes people lose their way and blocks the way forward. Only those who are truly familiar with this area, or those who have a topographic map in their mind like Xu Yan, can find this place through the fog. There are dozens of spring caves in the pure area, and the only one that does not emit smoke is an extremely rare cold spring. The cold spring water is clear and transparent, suitable for drinking and bathing. The spring water is filled with countless bubbles, like soda water. Xu Yan left Wanli Cantu on the shore as a bodyguard, while he soaked in the spring water. When you first enter the cold spring pool, your whole body will feel cold, but after 2 minutes, you will feel warm all over your body and feel more comfortable. It has physiotherapy and beauty effects. Just when Xu Yan was about to get out of the bath, a figure jumped in. Human life form detected, kill it or not. Close black lens bracket. An alarm came from the Wanli massacre on the shore. Human life form. Xu Yan had a thought and told Wanli Cantu not to act rashly. People may just come here to take a bath. After receiving the order, Wanli Cantu continued to hide in the darkness and stood still. Wearing a mask, with a good figure and long hair shawl, she is a woman. Xu Yan was a little flustered for a moment. Who would have thought that a woman would suddenly jump in while taking a bath? He had absolutely no experience taking baths with women. Wrong. This woman definitely didn't come down to take a bath, because she didn't even take off her clothes. Then what is she doing down here? After the woman entered the water, a layer of air formed around her body, like a protective film, and the pool water did not soak her. Noticing Xu Yan, who had just emerged from the water on the side of the pool, the woman screamed, "Who, daughter you? Why are you here?" Xu Yan covered his body. "I should be asking you this, right?" The woman was about to say something more when there was a sudden movement on the shore. Her expression suddenly changed, and she hurriedly put her index finger to her lips, signaling Xu Yan not to speak, and then dived into the bottom of the pool. Xu Yan. Human life form detected, kill it or not. Close black lens bracket. Another alarm came from Wanli Cantu. Why is taking a bath so uncomfortable? Are you also a life hunter who came to take a bath? Not many people in Mingmingjing district know the way, so why are there so many people here today? Although the enemy were still unclear, Xu Yan still signaled Wanli Cantu not to act rashly. Soon, a group of people came. They are all in a state of being possessed by the true body. From the horcruxes they held in their hands, Xu Yan could probably tell the other party's true body type. The one equipped with gloves should be a boxer, the one holding a bow should be an archer, and the one holding a staff should be a mage with 5 elements of soul skills. Seeing someone taking a bath here, these people were slightly startled. The leader of the mage said, "Young man, did you see a woman just now?" Xu Yan shook his head. The archer questioned, "I just chased you here, how come you disappeared?" The boxer thought for a while and said, "That woman has many tricks. It's not surprising that ordinary people don't see her. However, she has water-repelling beads on her body, which is very suitable for hiding in the water. I suggest you go into the water and take a look." The corners of Xu Yan's mouth stiffened in embarrassment. This was unnecessary. His naked body under the water has been seen by the girl, and he really doesn't want to take advantage of these big men anymore. "By the way, this kid saw us, what should we do?" The archer suddenly asked. The mage stared at Xu Yan with a hungry wolf-like look, and licked his lips maliciously. "This kid has tender skin and tender flesh, and he has already washed himself, so I made him by the way." What does done mean? Seeing the dirty looks in the 3 people's eyes, Xu Yan suddenly felt his anus tighten. These guys seem to be playing quite wildly. But I don't agree. Roar. Wanli Cantu was called to the rescue and raised a warning middle finger at them. Then the group made a trembling sound. What kind of monster is this? Too horrible. Why am I so scared? Why am I shaking? Why did I pee? Run. Wanli Cantu. Seeing the group of people scattered like birds and beasts, Shu Yan was shocked. He didn't expect that all thoughts are disappeared could be so effective. With deep-seated shock, fear, and terror, they quietly affected the other party's character. When Wanli Cantu appeared, their fear was magnified, and they were so frightened that they peed. He's gone, Shu Yan reminded the figure under the water. The woman floated up and said, "Thank you." But, her voice was filled with disbelief. "How did you send them away? How about we go ashore and talk in detail before I put on my clothes?" "Ah, you're not wearing any clothes." After noticing Shu Yan's body, the woman suddenly screamed, her cheeks and ears turned red. Shu Yan was speechless. "How dare you not notice that I am naked until now?" Ashore, Shu Yan took out a set of clothes from the storage space and changed into them. Behind the woman's mask is a delicate face. "What's your name, and why did you come to the hunting area alone at such a young age? Are you from Quancheng? How did you get in the clean area when it's so hidden? Why don't you speak?" Shu Yan glanced at her. "What do you think? I am Sha Lan from the Hunting God Pavilion." The woman took out a sign and showed her identity. "Sorry, this is a special period. According to the War Zone Management Regulations, I have the right to find out your identity in the hunting zone." Hunting God Pavilion. The Hunting God Pavilion is the highest combat power department in Daxia. It touches the mysterious realm of the underworld that ordinary life hunters cannot touch. It has a supreme status in the hearts of Daxia people. And they are all top-notch in strength. How could they be chased by others? It's a fake. The certificate has the exclusive anti-counterfeiting label of Hunting God Pavilion. It's true. So, how did this senior sister pass the exam? Shu Yan was very skeptical, but still handed over his pass. After all, the pass was issued by the government. He really wanted to see what the senior sister from the Hunting God Pavilion could find out. Looking at the pass, Sha Lan murmured, "Quancheng number 1 middle school, Shu Yan, special destiny." It turns out to be a newcomer this year. Suddenly noticing something, she exclaimed, "Hey, level 7. It's about to reach level 10. Ah hey." Shu Yan changed the subject and said, "It's not safe here. Those guys will come back at any time. How about we change places?" Sha Lan nodded. "Okay. Move to a hidden corner. Now you can answer me, how did you send those guys away? If I said that they were scared away by my real body, would you believe it? I didn't see your true body just now, so your true body is..." Suddenly, Wanli Butu appeared in a flash. "This is my real body. Isn't it scary?" Sha Lan's brows twitched. "Not bad. But don't be scared away." "No, how come your real body is a physical body and you can still move outside your body?" Shu Yan sighed. "I told you a long time ago that I am special. It's still very strange." Sha Lan paused and looked at Shu Yan. "I think according to their routine, you should be the bait." Shu Yan. "What is bait? Your level is not enough to support you to get here. I guess someone deliberately led you into this dangerous area for some unknown purpose." Shu Yan's mouth froze in embarrassment. "Is it so difficult to admit that I am strong?" Sha Lan continued. "The danger in the life hunting area is far beyond your imagination. Those people just now are not ordinary life hunters. Although we don't know why they left suddenly, you'd better leave this place of right and wrong now." Quote. Shu Yan. Sha Lan thought for a while, and then said, "You are a newcomer. With your strength, you probably won't be able to return to Teleport Station 8 by yourself. I will take you away." Shu Yan said, "Have you really forgotten that you were chased into the lake just now? I appreciate senior sister's kindness, but I still have to level up, so I won't go back for the time being." Sha Lan was stunned for a moment. "Senior sister?" Shu Yan looked at her, smiled slightly and said, "I will soon be admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion, and I should call you senior sister then." Sha Lan was surprised. "You mean, you have qualified for this year's Hunting God Pavilion exam?" Shu Yan nodded. "I have the qualifications for the exam, but if I haven't reached level 16 within a week, my qualifications will automatically be invalidated, so I have to stay here to upgrade." "I see." Sha Lan changed the subject. "Do you know who those people were just now?" "It's not a good thing anyway." Sha Lan. "So who are they?" Shu Yan said. "People from the Black Palace." "Black Palace? Do you know the Black Palace?" "Let me know a little bit. It's an anti-official life hunter organization." Shu Yan said. Shaolan nodded and said, the life hunter is a very powerful existence, but any powerful force can easily cause trouble once there is no supervision. Those bastards in the Black Palace don't abide by the official regulations at all. They will do anything to upgrade. They completely ignore the wait for upgrades. They don't care about their willpower and upgrade excessively. Shaolan emphasized, as you can imagine, the members of this organization are basically out of control. Those who are out of control will lose their rationality, and in order to maintain their rationality, they will do a series of harmful things. Just a few days ago, those 3 out-of-control people slaughtered 18 people and sucked in the aura of 18 corpses. That was only enough to maintain their sanity for 3 days. Now is the season for newcomers to awaken, and they are going crazy hunting for new life hunters, because fresh fates, higher-level fresh fates, are the best medicine for them to continue to stay sane. The underworld is a common disaster for mankind, and the Black Temple is the cancer of the life hunters. In order to upgrade, they are willing to drag the whole world along with them. To this day, there are still countless people in countless areas that are deeply affected by the Black Terror of the Black Temple. Among them, if you allow this organization to grow, you can imagine what the consequences will be. Shu Yan nodded in agreement. Having said this, what else can be said? A surge of blood rushed to his head, and he said with righteous indignation, everyone in the Black Palace will kill him. Come on, don't rush to kill him. Shaolan looked at him. There are not only Wangquan evil monsters in the life hunting area, but also those lunatics from the Black Palace. Those people are really here to hunt for life. The newcomers are only level 7. Anyone who dares to come to the deep area is called taking risks. According to the Junquan Division's files, people who take risks when they are novices are more likely to lose control later than normal people, and should be given psychological counseling in time. Shu Yan, however, you must be outstanding in your qualifications to take the exam at the Hunting God Pavilion, and it may not be considered a desperate move, right? What do you think? Now is a special period. The infiltration of the Black Temple is very serious, and there are more and more out-of-control life hunters. So don't blame me for talking too much. The Hunting God Pavilion's hunt for the Black Temple forces is still going on, and there will be no action against the out-of-control life hunters. Appeasement, don't go astray. Shu Yan nodded and said, Senior Sister is saying that I will never go astray. Then he coughed and said, actually, I have a question that I don't know whether to talk about or not. Shaolan looked at him and said, speak. Since Senior Sister said that the Hunting God Pavilion's search for the Black Temple forces is still continuing, and there will be no tolerance for the out-of-control life hunters, then. Shu Yan was about to speak but stopped. What do you want to say in the end? What I want to say is, why are they chasing you instead of you chasing them? Shaolan asked about the pain point. A gust of dark wind suddenly hit, and Shaolan's smile froze instantly. It's the people from the Black Palace, they are coming towards us. In the darkness, Wanli Cantu also sounded the alarm. Shu Yan's face was full of confusion. The alarm was still the same 3 people, but weren't they scared to death? Why did they dare to come here? This place is quite hidden, how did they find it? Because you're the bait. Shu Yan shook his head, I'm not. People who are used as bait will not know that they are bait. The Black Palace often uses such tricks to lure people from the Hunter Pavilion into their traps. It's okay, I don't blame you. This is not a question of whether it's strange or not. Senior Sister, have you really misunderstood me? Shaolan suddenly pointed to Shu Yan's shoes. I suggest you take a look at the soles of your shoes. Shu Yan raised his feet suspiciously, lowered his head and looked at the soles of his shoes carefully. Suddenly, his pupils shrank sharply. There was a flashing red fork-shaped cursor on the sole, as if illuminated by some kind of projection, emitting a mysterious and strange energy. What is this? Why is there such a strange mark on the sole of my shoe? This is the Dark Soul skill, the red mark of death. It can mark the target. After marking it, no matter where it escapes, it can be tracked by the hunter. Dark Soul skills. Shu Yan was confused. He had only heard of the 5 elements soul skills before, but never the Dark Soul skills. Also, when was he given the red mark of death? Why didn't he know about it? You're still too young. Tender. Okay, their target is me. Shaolan pulled Shu Yan away forcefully. You should leave quickly. Ha, let's go. You've been hit by the red mark of death and you still want to leave. There was a sneer, and 3 people appeared in a flash. The mage gritted his teeth and stared at Shu Yan, his eyes as if he wanted to eat him alive. Tell me, where are you from the Hunhei Palace? How dare you snatch our prey and commit crimes? Shu Yan could understand the mage's anger. He remembered that this guy peed his pants and ran away after being attacked by all thoughts or disappointed. But he didn't quite understand what the mage said. Which black palace and which hilltop? What kind of black eats black food? I do not know what you're talking about. The boxer on the side sneered. Who among us in the Black Palace is not wearing a personal leather mask, so don't act stupid. Shu Yan's chest tightened and he said, why am I pretending to be stupid? The archer on the other side said, oh, don't be so harsh. If you are not from the Black Palace, how do you know how to use Dark Soul skills? You still don't admit it. The mage touched his crotch and gritted his teeth. You used dark attacks on me, which made my crotch still wet. After all, I still want to face. He roared louder, when you use dark attacks on me, you should know that if you take advantage of others, you will see blood. Shu Yan sneered, is that a mistake? What does your peeing in your pants have to do with me? Made a mistake. The mage shook his head and laughed, then yelled, the red mark on the sole of your foot is the talent of my destiny. People who have been attacked by me will be automatically marked, and people who have attacked me will also be automatically marked. Quote, you told me to wet my pants, and then told me that you weren't the one behind the scenes. Do you really think that my destiny talent is just a decoration? Hearing this, Shu Yan's head clicked and he suddenly became enlightened. He finally figured it out now. No wonder there are marks on the soles of his shoes. It turns out that they are derived from the mage's destiny talent. People who have attacked him are automatically marked, and mental attacks also count. These 3 guys thought that they were scared away because they were spiritually attacked, and this kind of spiritual attack belongs to the Dark Soul skills, and the Dark Soul skills can only be used by people in the Black Palace. That's why they insisted that they were also from the Black Palace. He insists that he is wearing a mask and is engaging in gangsterism. Then why can only people from the Black Palace use Dark Soul skills? Well, now is not the time to ask that question. Since you can't make sense with them, it's better to do it again. All thoughts are lost. I was too kind to them before. Because I didn't know their identity, I just scared them to death. But this time, no more polite. Using all 10,011 points of willpower in the body, I wonder if I can make them bone into pins. A thought. Hey, what's going on? Native soul skill. All thoughts are disappointed. Cooling down. Cooling time. 3 hours. Note. The cooling time of soul skills is related to the willpower of the body. The higher the willpower, the shorter the cooling time. Close black lens bracket. The skill is cooling down. Looking at the prompt box, Shu Yan's lips froze, and only now did he notice that all thoughts are gone, needs to be cooled down after use. Perhaps this soul skill is too powerful, so the cooling time is relatively long. It actually takes 3 hours. Seeing Shu Yan's twitchy expression, the mage sneered, ha. What, do you want another dark attack? You still think I can pee my pants again? You think I can't cure you? You bastard, watch out for me. Red light zone, mental forbidden zone. As the mage shouted loudly, a layer of intense red smoke suddenly burst out from the top of his real body. The red smoke gathers and accumulates in the air, forming a strange lantern. The lantern is lit and projected into a red light zone, with a radius of 100 meters. Don't think that you are the only one who can use dark-type soul skills, and I can, too. In my red light zone, your dark-type attacks will be ineffective. Isn't it just black and white? Come on, fire meteor bomb. The mage made a seal gesture, and his true body and soul suddenly skyrocketed to 5 meters. His huge palm held up a huge fireball, and it smashed towards Shu Yan and Sha Lan. Flash. Sha Lan was as fast as a ghost, grabbing Shu Yan with one hand and escaping from the fireball attack. Boom! The fireball hit the ground and created a deep pit of fire. Ha! It's so dangerous. Open black lens bracket. Everything is lost. Close black lens bracket is cooling down, and it is no longer possible to kill them quietly. It is better not to make too much a big deal with these 3 guys, so it is better to be cautious. With a thought, Shu Yan asked Wanli Cantu to hide in the dark, waiting for an opportunity. Then he looked at Sha Lan gratefully and said, thank you, senior sister, for saving me. But why doesn't senior sister possess her real body? Xiaolan took a breath. My true body has been sealed, otherwise how could I have had their turn to be arrogant? Why is your true body sealed? Do you think now is the time to explain this problem? They are pressing. Xiaolan said anxiously, I am from the hunting god pavilion, and you are a newcomer. It is my responsibility to protect your life. I will hold them back, and you run away. The true body is sealed, and fighting with only the physical body is like hitting an egg against a stone. Xu Yan said, how about you run away and I will hold them back? Xiaolan turned to look at Xu Yan, you are so interesting. The mage's footsteps slowly approached, with a sinister smile on his face. What, are you fighting over who will die first? Then I will show mercy and send you on your way together. Fire meteor bomb. Fire meteor bombs are extremely powerful and have a wide range of damage. Once the body is hit, it will definitely turn into ashes. But now they were facing not only a fire bomb, but also an archer's deadly attack. Ice King Arrow. The archer's true form surged, and his soul power condensed into a huge ice arrow. The bowstring vibrated with a buzzing sound, and the soul body giant arrow suddenly shot out, and a cold feeling instantly filled the air. Xiaolan was pulling Xu Yan back when she suddenly felt as if her body was as heavy as lead, and her speed, which was originally like a fleeting glimpse of light, suddenly dropped. On the ground, strips of red light stretched out like snakes and entangled her feet. How could it be? Xiaolan was surprised. Fire bombs are coming towards you, there is no way to avoid them. The Ice King's arrow was shot from behind, there was no way to hide. There are fire bombs in front of you, and Ice King arrows behind you. They are imprisoned in the red light zone, and they can't move forward or retreat. A moment of life and death. Call. At this moment, there was a sharp sound of wind in the void, and then a huge figure fell from the sky. Formless and faceless, the body is made of copper skin and iron bones. The iron is beaten into a skin and the copper is used to build bones. The blood vessels are dripping with black oil, the joints are rusty, and the center is damaged, but there is a broken knife that cuts through the universe. It was Wanli massacre. Wanli Cantu landed in the air, picked up the broken knife and struck directly at the red lantern. A single slash of the sword was enough to shock the blue sky. 12,798. Boom. The lantern is broken. The red light strip completely collapsed. Xiaolan suddenly felt her feet loosen, and then she felt like she was surrounded by a solid and warm embrace. Xu Yan's movements were light and swift, like a nimble cat. At the moment when the fire meteor bomb and the Ice King arrow swept in, he hugged Xiaolan tightly and completed a rollover lightly and accurately. Boom. The fireball hit the ground and created another deep pit. Boom. The ice arrows struck and broke the rocks on the opposite side. Just in danger. Xiaolan looked at Xu Yan in disbelief. He was a member of the heavenly group of the hunting god pavilion, but he was saved by a newcomer. Obviously, just now, they have reached a desperate situation. But how could this guy still be so calm and calm? Wrong. The so-called calmness must be supported by strength. Even if he is not possessed by his real body, this guy's body still has good strength and speed. How did he practice it? When he was in the red light strip, those red light snakes didn't wrap around his feet. How did he avoid them? What Xiaolan didn't know was that even if he wasn't possessed by his real body, Xu Yan's body still had 158 points of strength and agility. In addition, he has an absolute will of up to 10,011 plus 158, which allows him to ignore the spiritual realm of the mage. The red light zone has no effect on him at all. Xu Yan still maintained his hugging posture. The restraints in the red light zone just now have consumed so much of Xiaolan's physical strength that she was unable to struggle. Can you let me go first? Ah, I'm sorry. Xu Yan immediately let go of his arms and coughed awkwardly. Xiaolan tidied her clothes a little and turned her attention to the battlefield. The light of the knife flashed. 12,798. The mage's head soared into the sky. Another knife. 12,798. The archer's body was cut off at the waist. In less than 2 seconds, both the mage and the archer died tragically. The shock this scene brought to Xiaolan was too strong. Even though she saw it with her own eyes, Xiaolan still couldn't believe it. Who dares to believe it? The pass that was updated in the morning actually says that the real body is only level 7. The minimum level for mages and archers is 20, and their lifespans are not low, and their soul skills are also very strong. How could a fledgling real body behead them as soon as they met? Xu Yan was very satisfied with his battle plan, and Wanli Cantu also executed it well. The real body can fight outside the body, but in fact it mainly focuses on surprise. After defeating the Red Lantern, the mage had suffered internal injuries, his combat power was greatly reduced, and loopholes appeared. The archer also had a poor psychological quality. He suddenly lost control of his emotions and hit the knife edge himself. In addition, this is a foggy area, and Wanli Cantu not only has no decreasing attribute in the fog, but on the contrary, the fog here is like its tentacles, allowing him to make better predictions. A seemingly random stroke is actually the result of the most precise calculation. The angle is just right. The timing is just right. One knife, 12,798. Another knife, 12,798. High speed. In the blink of an eye. It's that simple. Boxer actually took action just now. With a shake of his shoulders, his real body instantly burst out at a speed that was completely disproportionate to his own body. He blasted out his fists and headed straight towards Xu Yan and Sha Lan in the red light strip. But he never thought that the next moment a demon god would fall from the sky and kill two of his companions in succession. The first knife is 12,798. Cut off the red light strip. The second knife is 12,798. The mage's body and head are separated. The third knife is 12,798. The archer's blood splattered on the spot. Fear. Explode. Indescribable. Like the devil coming to the world, stepping on shooting stars, the demons fleeing, and the ghosts retreating. What was originally a fatal situation has now become his own fatal situation. Witnessing the death of the mage and the archer with his own eyes, the boxer's eyes were already full of fear. His sudden charge came to an abrupt halt, and he froze in place like a sheep, trembling. The owner of the terrifying real body was the boy who made them pee their shit. If he had known what would happen to him, he would have been willing to piss them off again, 10 times, or 100 times. You should have known a long time ago that those who dare to take advantage of others are the bosses in the Dark Palace, and you should not provoke them easily. Thinking of this, the boxer quickly knelt down and said in a pious voice, "Big brother of the Black Palace, please forgive me. I am too blind to see the mountains. Please let me live. I will make you a cow and a horse. Your rations will be mine every day. The moon will be delivered on time." Rations? Xu Yan asked with interest. What is ration? The boxer was stunned. How could the Black Palace boss not even know what rations were? Yes, he must be testing me. Ration is the lingo of the Black Palace. It refers to the black medicine that keeps out of control people sane. The materials used may be the essence of a girl, the blood of a boy, the ground scalp, the lifeblood of a life hunter, and the full moon. The placenta. Xu Yan's brows trembled. Okay, stop talking. I'm not a Black Palace boss. I'm just a candidate for the Hunting God Pavilion. Please prepare. The boxer was stunned. What should I prepare? Die. Boxer died too. He was hacked to death by Wanli massacre after being fully prepared. You are quite powerful. You actually have the defensive soul skill Iron Bone. Wanli Cantu can't kill you with just one strike. He has to cut you 3 times. Xu Yan said as he looked at the boxer's body. And Sha Lan still hasn't reacted yet. From the beginning to the end of the fight, apart from the boxer's begging for mercy, it only lasted a few breaths. Sha Lan couldn't hold back the shock in her heart any longer, and spoke to Xu Yan. My real body is separated from the body in combat, with superb techniques, and I know the flaws of dark soul skills like the back of my hand. I really want to tear off your mask and see who you are. Which Black Palace boss? Isn't this easy? Xu Yan moved his face closer. Sha Lan was suddenly startled. What are you doing? The face has been sent to you, you can tear it apart. Sha Lan, this face is harmless to humans and animals, and does not look like a Black Palace boss. That's all I need to touch. You guys are enjoying it. Okay, get started. Xu Yan looked at her funny. So, senior sister, do you have the answer? Am I the boss of the Black Palace? Sha Lan said unhappily. What do you think? If you ask me, senior sister already has the answer, otherwise she wouldn't have thought of saving me before. Ha, Sha Lan laughed angrily. I am a member of the heavenly group of the hunting god pavilion. If I can't tell whether your identity is true or false, I don't need to eat this bowl of rice. Shu Yan was confused. Then why do you still touch it? Sha Lan, sister, why are you blushing? Sha Lan, looking at what is registered on your pass, you have a special fate, unique in the history of scarcity, and your true body is a physical entity and can fight outside the body. This makes you qualified to take the hunting god pavilion exam, right? Who knows? Shu Yan hesitated. Probably so. Sha Lan said. Actually, you don't need to explain to me why you were able to enter the deep zone, and you don't need to explain to me why you were able to quickly kill the 3 Black Hall members. I saw all of this. Your combat skills seem straightforward, but in fact they are very mysterious. Your true identity is elusive, and your calm response are also advantages. Shu Yan was startled. This senior sister did not praise others easily. Senior sister, you're so grateful. I haven't finished speaking yet. Quote. Sha Lan glanced at him meaningfully and continued, looking at the complete record of fate. There are also some special fates registered in it, which are particularly powerful at low levels, and can even you have to fight for several levels, but for these fates, the higher the combat power in the early stage, the worse the fall will be in the later stage, and there is basically a risk of losing control, so don't blame me for talking. You have good potential, and you must not go astray. Do you know? Shu Yan nodded. I know very well that even if everyone in the world is crooked, I will not be crooked. This made Sha Lan amused. I suddenly like your confident look. Is it the confidence Jingru gave you? No, it is absolute will. Sha Lan suddenly pointed at Wanli Cantu, who was guarding the corpse and was still chopping meat. Look at your true body, what does he look like? Shu Yan thought for a long time. Wanli Cantu, he has no face, who can he look like? Sha Lan said. Like the boss of the Black Palace. Shu Yan, are you serious? He has no face. Ah hey. Sha Lan said. I'm not talking nonsense. Everyone in the Black Palace wears human skin masks, and those who wear the same, faceless, mask are usually the bosses. Shu Yan. So, collect all the masks of the 3 Black Palace life hunters. The Black Palace masks can be exchanged for contribution points at the Daxia District Guild. They can also get extra points in this year's big exam of the God Hunter Pavilion. Hearing this, Shu Yan's eyes lit up. He actually did this. Blatant reminder. How can the senior sister from the Hunting God Pavilion handle this? In the eyes of Wanli Cantu, everything can be chopped into pieces. He slaughtered 3 members of the Black Temple in a gruesome manner. The broken knife came so swiftly and cruelly. The scene was filled with blood and flesh. When Sha Lan witnessed this scene, she couldn't help but feel a chill in her heart. She looked at Shu Yan and lowered her voice. People are dead and you still torture the corpses. Your true body is a completely negative personality. Taking a deep breath, she warned again, don't go astray. Shu Yan's expression froze in embarrassment. Everyone in the Black Palace will kill them if they find them. My true identity is actually very simple. I just feel that I have to chop them into pieces in order to relieve the hatred in the hearts of everyone. Sha Lan. Shu Yan found the mask from the meat paste. The machete of Wanli Cantu seems to have a special liking for the Black Palace masks, and is reluctant to chop them. The mask was soft and bunched together. After Shu Yan unfolded the mask, he couldn't help but be stunned. The textures are exquisite, exuding a strange aura, and containing a certain amount of dark energy, but they are not shaped like human faces, but horse face. He picked up the second one, also a horse face. The third one, again. What's going on? The 3 people in the Black Palace all look different. Why are the masks they dropped all look the same and are all horse-faced? He cast a pleading look at Sha Lan. Sha Lan took the mask and said, don't be surprised. This mask is an exclusive prop of the Black Palace. It is specially used for those who are out of control. After wearing this mask, the horse's face will not only randomly change into different human faces, but also the out-of-control person. The soul power in the body of the person is converted into dark energy according to a certain ratio. Dark energy, Sha Lan explained. The dark element is a side category that is different from the regular 5 elements. Awakening the dark energy, you can learn the dark soul skills of Wangquan Qi. The power of some dark soul skills is even more mysterious and terrifying than the 5 elements soul skills. This is why many life hunters willingly fall into the Black Palace. Reason. Especially those life hunters who do not have the 5 elements attributes in the first place are faced with a greater temptation to fall, because the power of these soul skills is so tempting, and their loss of control is often voluntary. Xiaolan raised her head and looked at Xu Yan with a worried look on her face. Your true form is a negative personality, you must control it. Xu Yan's mouth twitched. Why does this come back again? Absolute will to understand. In order to take care of senior sister Xiaolan's sense of security, Xu Yan still took the trouble to express his position. Please rest assured, senior sister, I must control it. Xiaolan glanced at him. Everyone can shout slogans. I have seen many people who do one thing on the outside and another behind the scenes. Only willpower will not deceive others. She paused for a moment and suddenly said with a sincere tone, after all, you saved me, and some words shouldn't be said too harshly. This year's Hunting God Pavilion exam is likely to include an assessment, which is a test of willpower. I hope you work hard and spend more time on cultivating your willpower instead of just leveling up. Willpower test. Xu Yan's eyes suddenly lit up. Did you leak the topic again? This senior sister is really good. If the Hunting God Pavilion is a test of willpower, wouldn't it be your home court? If a willpower of over 10,000 is detected, he must be the strongest person in the human race. Xu Yan suppressed his inner excitement, nodded and said, I'm really looking forward to it. Xiaolan handed the mask to Xu Yan again. Submit these masks to the guild, and you can get the contribution points. Xu Yan was confused. They are all the same masks. How will the guild give contribution points? Do they all give the same contribution points? Xiaolan said. These masks look the same, but they are actually different. After each horse mask is worn, it will inhale some of the wearer's breath. The guild will distinguish each horse mask based on these breaths' identity and then give the corresponding kill contribution value. Xu Yan nodded. That's it. Actually, there is more than just one type of mask in the Black Palace, horse mask. Xiaolan added. Xu Yan's curiosity suddenly aroused. Is there anything else? Certainly, Xiaolan said. Just like the membership system of the Life Hunters Guild, the members of the Black Hall are also divided into levels. Different levels correspond to different permissions, and Ma Mian is the lowest status of the Black Hall members. In Ma Mian, on top of that there are oxheads, sprites, devils, and so on. Demon, monster, bullhead, horse face. Xu Yan was shocked. I didn't expect that the Black Palace was such a huge organization. Ma Mian turned out to be just the lowest status member of the Black Hall. The 3 horse faces just now were the 3 members of the Black Palace who were killed. They had both the Underworld soul skill and the 5 elements soul skill. Among them, the mage even has a dark field, and his life is not low. Such an advanced configuration of destiny soul skills is already beyond the reach of many destiny hunters, but I never thought. With such strength, he can only be the lowest level horse face in the Black Palace. They all say that the official Hunting God Pavilion is very curly, but I didn't expect that the Black Palace's out of control man is also so curly. Looking at the horse face in his hand, Xu Yan suddenly had an idea. He looked at Xiaolan and asked, what would happen if there was no out of control life hunter wearing this mask? Can the dark element be awakened? Xiaolan shook her head and said, of course not. It has been said that dark energy uses out of control soul power, and there is a price for wearing this mask. What price? Xiaolan said. I always hear people say that the faces of members of the Black Hall cannot be seen in the light, and they will die if exposed to the light. It is indeed true. If you put on this mask, you cannot take it off, and taking it off means death. Quote. Xu Yan blinked and digested it a little. So, Ma Mian can only be Ma Mian forever. No, Xiaolan explained. Just like the official has its own set of promotion rules, the Black Palace also has its own rules, but the Black Palace's promotion rules are more cruel than imagined. Looking at Xu Yanji's stunned eyes, Xiaolan smiled slightly and said, okay, let's not go into details. You will know this when you are admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion. After the life hunter dies, the things in the storage space will fall out. Xiaolan pointed to the piles of meat residue on the ground and urged, don't be stunned. Members of the Black Palace usually loot a lot of treasures. Let's see what else falls out. After clearing away the pile of meat residue, Xu Yan did see a lot of things. Black Fire Snake Soul Staff Black Bronze Level, Spirit plus 8 can increase the power of Fire Soul skills by 5%, exclusive to level 20 Fire Heroes. Close Black Lens Bracket. Black Ice Poison Soul Bow Black Bronze Level, Strength plus 17, can increase the power of Water Soul skills by 3%, available at level 20 Water Hero and above. Close Black Lens Bracket. Black Soul Fist Gloves Black Bronze Level, Strength plus 9, Constitution plus 8, Agility plus 7, can increase critical hit damage by 5%, available for 20 Gold Hero and above. Close Black Lens Bracket. The 3 pieces of Horcrux equipment are neatly placed in front of you. When you touch them with your hand, the corresponding information is displayed, and a reminder is given whether to save them into the storage space. Shu Yan noticed an interesting word, Black Bronze Level. What does Black Bronze Level mean? Shu Yan turned to look at Sha Lan. There is no official Black Bronze Level, there is only Bronze Level. It should be Bronze Level, right? Sha Lan said. As long as it is a Horcrux produced by the Black Palace, it will have the word, Black, in front of it. The Black Bronze Level Horcrux is indeed equivalent to the official Bronze Level, but it can only be used by out-of-control life hunters. Can only be used by those who are out of control. Shu Yan raised his eyebrows and said depressedly, then what's the use of having these? Sha Lan said, you can sell them to the guild material merchants. The material merchants will break them down into raw materials and then put them into the next level circulation market. Shu Yan nodded, I understand. There are also some conventional ingredients left, such as 9-tailed ginseng, evil monster soul bone, blood replenishing essence. All can be sold for money. There were also some shady materials, such as scalp, placenta, etc. Shu Yan simply chose to skip them. The spoils of war are all in front of you. Everyone who meets you has a share. Senior sister, shall we share it equally? You are the one who killed this person, and upgrading in the novice stage requires a lot of resources, so you keep them all. But, you keep it all. All right. Shu Yan is more respectful than obedient. The yellow tablet is about the size of a tile, with dense patterns of deeds on it, emitting a faint yellow light, giving people a mysterious and powerful feeling. Shu Yan held the yellow tablet in his hand. The data frame showed, Primary Underworld Key, Fire. Introduction. You can obtain the Primary Underworld Soul Skill, which is exclusive to the 5 elements of the fire system. Close Black Lens Bracket. Elementary Underworld Key, I heard it can be sold for a lot of money. Sha Lan sighed, as if he was looking at a nouveau riche. This is really a surprise. Others are eager to learn the secrets to increase their real combat power, but you only want to sell money. Shu Yan spread his hands helplessly and sighed. I want to learn too, but my real body doesn't have the 5 elements, let alone the designated fire element, so I can't learn it. Sha Lan nodded and said, that's right. I forgot that your real body doesn't have the 5 elements attributes and cannot be learned. If you sell it, it will only cost a few million. Millions. Shu Yan's eyes widened. He thought it was expensive, but never thought it was so expensive. A small elementary tip can be sold for millions. However, from Sha Lan's tone, it was just a few million. It seemed that millions were nothing to her. Sha Lan must have an extraordinary family background. Big money. Shu Yan handed Sha Lan the secret of Underworld. Sha Lan was slightly startled. Based on my current level, the elementary skills are useless to me, so you should keep them for yourself. Use them if you can, and cash in if you can't. A gust of wind blew up, lifting Sha Lan's hair. Okay, I have to leave too. Since you saved me, I'll give you this thing. As he said this, Sha Lan took out a box and stuffed it directly into Shu Yan's hand. Shu Yan opened it and saw a mysterious stone. The stone shows a dull ochre red color without any luster. It looks like a face, but it keeps changing, sometimes like an old man, sometimes like a baby, sometimes even like a ferocious animal head. Shu Yan asked curiously, what is this? Sha Lan said lightly, betting on stones in the underworld. What? When Shu Yan heard the name, he felt as if his head had been hit with a heavy stick. Gambling stones in Gongqing is famous. He had heard the legend of Huangquan gambling on stones, but he had never seen the true appearance of Huangquan gambling on stones. So this is the Huangquan gambling stone. Carefully put your hand on the gambling stone, and the data frame was displayed. Open black lens bracket yellow spring gambling stone close black lens bracket. Introduction. Unknown things can be found. There are risks in betting on stones. Please be careful when opening stones. The introduction is simple, and simplicity often means the ultimate extraordinary. The lottery draw of Gongqing stone gambling is often described as a life and death gamble. The reward may be unparalleled prop materials, the supreme resources that may come from the other side of the underworld. It might be a life-changing change that changes everything. Of course, it's also possible to have nothing, or reap a fatal curse. The most unique thing about Gongqing stone gambling is its damn incredible odds. It is this unpredictable power that makes Gongqing gambling stone a treasure sought after by top life hunters, wealthy families and speculators. Its value is immeasurable. The net worth of players who gamble on stones in Gongqing is beyond the reach of ordinary people. The most common Gongqing gambling stone must use at least 100 million as the unit. Sha Lan actually has it. And he actually gave it to him like this. Shu Yan was completely stunned. Shu Yan still looked at the Gongqing gambling stone in his hand with some disbelief. This thing is too valuable, how can I have the nerve to accept it? Sha Lan smiled softly, looked at him, and said, it's okay to bet on stones in the underworld. You saved my life after all. Shu Yan licked his dry mouth and said, thank you, senior sister, then I'd rather be respectful than obey your orders. He carefully held Gongqing gambling stone in his arms, as if he was carrying a huge sum of money. Senior sister, are there any particularities in opening stones? Sha Lan thought for a moment and said, I don't think it's important. Yeah, Shu Yan had some doubts. Isn't it true that a stone worth over 100 million yuan doesn't pay attention to anything? Like feng shui metaphysics. Sha Lan paused for a moment, seeming to consider whether to continue speaking, but finally decided to share, by the way. She looked at Shu Yan, do you want to know why my true body was sealed? Shu Yan nodded eagerly, yes. A long time. That's what you said. Sha Lan pointed at the gambling stone in Shu Yan's hand and sighed, did you see the risk warning about stone gambling? Shu Yan was stunned. I saw it. What I said is, there are risks in betting on stones, please be careful when opening stones. Sha Lan whispered, yesterday I opened a gambling stone. Shu Yan was stunned. A gambling stone is worth over 100 million. How come this senior sister is opening the stone as if she were playing with it? She opened one yesterday and gave one away today. It's too cool. So, what was prescribed? Sha Lan smiled awkwardly and said, I cast a sealing curse. Sealing curse. Shu Yan was startled, then thought about it and suddenly realized. So, senior sister, you can't show your true body because you opened the stone gambling game yesterday. Sha Lan nodded. Shu Yan was dumbfounded and looked at Sha Lan sympathetically, not knowing how to comfort her. A gambling stone worth hundreds of millions cast a curse. Not only did he lose all his money, but he also lost his true body. It was so miserable, so miserable. Don't look at me with that look. Sha Lan said, it's not as bad as you think, it's just that the real body can't act 24 hours a day. Shu Yan felt the same and breathed a sigh of relief, that's okay. Sha Lan then said, but I know that a senior has issued a lifelong seal. Lifelong seal. Shu Yan's heart tightened. Doesn't it mean that the true body will never be revealed? Is there a way to crack it? He asked. Sha Lan shook her head, no solution. So what happened to that senior? I'm not sure if I'm late, I'm regretful, I'm depressed, I can't think about it anymore, and now there's grass growing on my grave. Shu Yan. Suddenly, I felt that the gambling stone in my hand was no longer so fragrant. The risk of stone mining is so high, and I don't know why stone gambling, which is popular among the wealthy circles, is so expensive. The best way to live in life. If you don't belong to your own circle, don't force yourself into it. Selling for money is the way to go. Thanks to senior sister for your love, I will definitely treasure this gift. After that, he threw the gambling stone into the storage space. The item data in the storage space appears. Item. Gongqing gambling stone. Introduction. Unknown things can be found. There are risks in betting on stones. Please be careful when opening stones. Remarks. The giver chooses directional binding. It is already bound and cannot be traded. Already bound. Directional binding. The giver chooses directional binding and cannot trade. Shu Yan. Just give it away. Why did you choose targeted binding? Think I'll resell it? Am I that kind of person? I guess you are an accurate judge of people. He couldn't sell it. Shu Yan controlled his broken heart and put on a grateful face. Senior sister, your true body seal has not been lifted yet, how about I escort you back? Escort? Sha Lan stared at him. You look down on me, do you really think I'm a weakling? Shu Yan. Sha Lan chuckled and said, okay, I know you mean well, don't worry, it's just 24 hours now, the sealing curse has expired and my true body has returned. As he spoke, Sha Lan's pupils lit up pink. At the same time, Wanli Cantu sent a message, warning. Someone is spying. Close black lens bracket. Shu Yan thought and replied, it's okay. Let her peep. Close black lens bracket. After all, it is a friendship worth over 100 million yuan. There are no secrets in front of senior sister. Sha Lan's pink pupils returned to normal, but her expression was full of disbelief. You are already level 9. In fact, it can be faster. If I hadn't gone to the clean area to take a bath, I would be at level 10 by now. Shu Yan took advantage of the situation and asked, so, senior sister, do you think I can be admitted to the hunting god pavilion? How should I put it? Sha Lan thought for a while, and her expression suddenly became serious. To be honest, very few people have upgraded their true form to level 9 on the second day of the novice period. Your upgrade speed is already very fast. Quote, it shouldn't be difficult for you to reach level 16 in a week. After all, it's only the second day. Instead, you have to keep up with the cultivation of your will. In addition, if it weren't for Destiny Boy, it would be absolutely impossible for him to easily kill level 20 Black Hall members at level 9, and 3 of them at the same time. Let's put it this way. Sha Lan paused and looked at the young man in front of him seriously. In my opinion, if you can't even get into the hunting god pavilion, then no one except Tianming can even get into it. This is really a high praise. Shu Yan was flattered and looked at Sha Lan with more force in his eyes. The message from Wanli Cantu came to my mind. This human creature cannot be peeked at. Close black lens bracket. This human creature cannot be peeked at. Close black lens bracket. Even after the lockdown is lifted, visits are still not allowed. Are there any special anti-peeping tools? Sha Lan blushed when she was stared at. Don't look at it, I'm level 30, Destiny. Shu Yan was startled. Was he caught peeping? Wrong. Destiny. The person in front of me is actually recognized as having the best destiny in the world, the Master of Destiny. The Hunting God Pavilion is indeed not accessible to ordinary people. If you get admitted to the Hunting God Pavilion, I hope you can come to the Heavenly Group. Now, I have to go. She pointed to the gambling stone in Shu Yan's hand. I wish you good luck. Call. A gust of breeze blew, and Sha Lan's figure began to blur and gradually became transparent, as if she wanted to merge with nature. Hey, wait. Shu Yan stretched out his hand to grab her, but only caught a handful of wind. Facing the eastward wind, Shu Yan shouted with a tight chest. You haven't told me yet. How to open the gambling stone. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.